Welcome to the Crow's Nest, a local music podcast set up in your spaceship to help build communications between musicians here on the local scene of Belfast, Northern Ireland.
Welcome to another episode of the Crow's Nest podcast, and a big thank you to Marikai in Focus for sponsoring this episode, and we'll talk about them a little bit later. I'm here today with Ferals. Hey guys, what's happening? Do you want to introduce yourself and what you do in the band?
I'm Sam, I'm the guitarist. That's all I do.
I'm Jack and I play bass guitar.
Sweet. Very cool, very
Do I
cool.
look into the camera? Are we
You
looking
can
into the
look
camera?
into the camera if you want to look into the camera. It's,
Just make loads of awkward eye contact
Yeah.
with the audience.
every time you do, I'll make a point of probably zooming in very far into your face, because that's what I like to do. That's sort of my bit.
We're going to cut out the bits where we talk about looking into the camera.
I don't know what I've been doing.
It depends. Sometimes,
Do we look like real people yet?
sometimes the comedy aspect is worth keeping in. So it's all post production.
Here it's probably best to cover who we're missing as well from the band.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah. So who's not here?
We're currently missing frontman Shane and Danzilla, our man on the percussion.
Oh, nice. And why? Why aren't they
Couldn't be ours.
here? Fair enough.
No, what? Shane was working, he wouldn't go here till like
Yeah,
9.
we have to be in at 6 tomorrow for work, so
Yeah.
coming down from the north.
It is understandable. It's very difficult to be like working jobs and doing a band at the same time. It's like the biggest struggle of doing bands. I don't know, I get jealous of people that are that are not working, that are in bands, but then at the same time I think they're just desperate for money. So like it's sort of give and take in it. Yeah, so I want to start off talking about obviously your single that it's pretty recent. When did you guys bring that out? It was like a month ago
March.
maybe. Yeah.
Start of March, yeah.
Cool. So it's called Brendan Rodgers.
Yeah.
How come you call it Brendan Rodgers? That's probably the first thing to get into. Where did the name come from?
It's a very football themed
It
song.
is, yeah.
It does.
Football manager, right?
Yeah.
For anybody that doesn't know.
Yeah, so it was kind of written, it was written mainly by Shane, but I had a hand to play with bringing the song to him.
Right.
And we just under the name Brendan Rodgers because it was there at
Right.
the time,
Okay.
and like I was angry. I wrote this song about being angry about Brendan Rodgers,
Right.
formerly of Liverpool FC.
Right, okay.
What do you do?
He bottled the league.
Is that right? That's the
That's it,
subject.
that's it,
That's the
that's-
subject
that's-
matter then.
That's
It was always kind of, it was like initially like a working title.
Yeah, yeah.
We're like, because it kind of rolls off the tongue really easy, like, oh,
It does,
hey, Brendan,
yeah.
man. So it was like, and then there was one point we were going to change it,
yeah.
and then we decided against it because we thought it kind of,
It just didn't have the same
yeah,
like.
it having a strange name would get people being like, would kind of attract maybe a wee bit more attention to
I
it.
agree. I
I
agree.
quite like that. We do the
We
exact
do
same
Yeah.
thing.
that. I don't know if you've seen our song titles, but they're fucking
No,
weird.
what is it?
Often-
Ants with a Z, like the movie.
Yeah.
Yes, that's
That-
fucking legal.
That was a
I love
working
that.
title that just became the title.
Yeah.
Like,
It was pretty funny
cool.
because there was there was an article written recently about us. I'm not trying to diss this article. It sounds like it's gonna be a bad thing, but I felt like the guy that wrote it didn't really like us. Like
Really?
he- well, no, but he was he was as positive as he could possibly be. But like he had said stuff like the oddly titled answer to that like the movie and stuff, and I felt like he just thought everything. we
All
were
the
doing was-
adjectives were basically like he didn't know
these
what
guys
to say
are
about
weird.
us.
Like
Yeah.
I don't understand what they're doing and they're strange. But he didn't say anything bad to be
No.
fair. It's like I don't know how to feel about this like review of our latest single. It's
Yeah.
kind of like
we got that a lot as well. They were like, we don't really know why they've called it that, but
yeah. I actually seen one. I read one of your reviews. I can't remember what website it was on, but it just reminded me so much of like
Yeah.
the one that we had with Ants because it was just like the very uniquely titled Brendan Rodgers, and I was
what
like,
are you trying to say?
it's just like I mean it's not that crazy a name. It gets you interested in it, which
Yeah.
is, I mean, that's the point of a good song title. It's either easy to remember or interesting to make you want to like click on it and listen to it in the first place. But you guys brought that out and you done a music video with it with the guys from Zool Records. God
It was
bless
actually,
them.
it was Shailene Murphy actually did it. The keyboardist of Beauty Sleep.
She shoot the
Yeah.
video.
Yeah.
Was this at Zool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Zool.
We were saying like there's going to be in the next year there's going to be so many more videos shot in Zool that it's literally like people will discover this like years in the future and be like, what was this like magical place that
Yeah.
all the musicians went to?
Man, I fucking love that place.
Oh dude, it's amazing, isn't it?
So did she filmed it at? I didn't realize there was any crossover and collaboration there.
Yeah.
Did they just let her use the thing, or did they edit it at all, or was it like
No,
Selena put it together? I didn't know. that.
Shailene did most of it. She would run Honeymoon PR.
Yes.
Um,
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
they-
We met with them before, right?
Yeah.
So we
we
met
were
her.
we were working for a PR sort of schedule for Brendan.
Yeah.
And then she was like, well, if you guys are looking for a video, we could do that as well.
Right.
We're like,
Okay.
sweet. Because like, you know, it's hard to find, or we were finding it really hard to find someone who would do a video for like, not
Less than £500.
Yeah, like I was gonna say a reasonable price, but like
Yeah.
music videos are really, really
Yeah.
expensive.
Okay.
And Shailene was prepared to do it for a really, really good price. We were like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's do it. And we were really happy with how it turned out.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a
really
really
like it.
fun video. It's funny now because like it does make sense because the minute I seen it was in there, I was assuming this was put together by Zool
Mhm.
just because it was at their warehouse. But you could tell it's like a different. I don't know. They don't usually do stuff like this.
Yeah.
Not that I've seen anyway, and it did feel a bit different. I was like, oh, they're really going outside the box here with what they're doing. But it makes sense. It was somebody else came up
Yeah.
with it then. Was it Shailene then came up with the zombie idea, or was that you guys?
That was Shailene, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. We went through many ideas. There was going to be a big like. Do we get much away?
Right.
Are we allowed to
I
say
know
this?
the original idea for the Brendan video was so ambitious, but I thought it was really cool.
Okay.
So it was going to be like an 80s inspired like Stranger Things thing.
Right. Okay. Right.
So we're from the North Coast, and there was like I don't know how many years, it would have been like 1500s or something, like a Spanish galleon crashed
right.
on like the coast of like the north of Ireland,
Okay.
and like sort of there's been tales of like buried treasure and all that sort of piratey stuff.
Yeah.
So we were going to do, well, we were thinking of doing like a wee group of like young sort of teen guys, like the guys in Stranger Things, like went off to go find.
Right. Oh shit! We can't have actual Brendan Rodgers come on. These guys might freak out. Like I don't really know how deep the anger goes.
I like how our like related videos are actually related.
Yeah.
That's-
It's the like marketing tag there to random like football fan, like, "Ugh, what's this?" But yeah, and it was like going to be like those guys like on their bikes and stuff, like going off trying to find the buried treasure
Yeah.
on like North Coast with all
That's
those beautiful
cool.
vistas. But
That was maybe a bit too.
yeah, that would cost like
Fair enough.
This is for the next one whenever you guys hit it big.
Yeah,
You
man,
have,
like it's a budget?
a good
Yeah.
budget. Yeah.
#1 platinum video.
Oh man, we go through the same thing. Sometimes we start with a very basic video idea, and then once it gets brought into the band, I like to think I'm pretty realistic with it. Like whenever I bring an idea over, and it's like we could do this, we could do it ourselves, like it would be fine. And then it's like, but what if? And then it just goes like it starts escalating. I'm like I don't think we can do that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome that she did. I did not know that. And like, I don't know how much you get into this, but so you used Shailene then for PR. What sort of stuff was she able to do for you then? Like in regards to promoting the single, like.
So a lot of our online blogs and reviews she helped us sort of get the contacts to get in with that, and she
Yeah.
did a lot of management with our sort of release.
Yeah, yeah.
So
okay.
anything that came out that's on our Facebook page, she had a part in
Yeah.
for
Okay.
the first 6 weeks
Oh,
of
right,
Yeah.
the
right,
Facebook
right.
page being live. It was
And she was great with that. She like it would be like every couple of days, like something new would land in. And she'd be
Yeah.
like, "There you go, guys."
Awesome. That's
like just constant sort of like a release plan
Yeah,
and
so
like
now that
content
we're-
for your to push the Facebook page and
Aye.
stuff. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
as well as like advice in general on what we should be doing, like
yeah.
with regards to like what maybe gigs we should be taking or what we should be sort of aiming for in the next couple of months. So
That's really good because I mean you guys are relatively new as a band, aren't you?
yeah.
Like, have you guys been playing for a long time before this, or is Ferals just completely like new? Like, this is your guys' first band, or?
I mean, I technically joined Ferals in 2015.
Yeah.
It would have been 2015, or maybe the start of 2016.
So Ferals before that was a band that was just me and Shane, and we were in the Bayonets,
Right. Okay.
which then turned into Born Only Yesterday.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So Shane
yeah, like,
left,
right,
and
right.
we got James in, and we made Born Only Yesterday band. So when Shane left, we still wanted to work together and make music together. So we made a band called Kebabs.
Right.
It was meant to be all heavy.
What was the
everything.
tagline?
I can see it, naming lights. Or something like that.
No, was it meaty riffs and garlic sauce?
Oh, Meteorites and Garlic Song, yeah.
That's nice.
Love it.
That's awesome. Hey, you still playing Born Only Yesterday? Now,
Yes,
don't
I'm
you?
still,
Yeah.
still yeah.
Going despite any rumors of Born Only Yesterday.
I got you guys just last month. It was a fucking awesome show. Gordon Street.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that was sick. Thank you for coming.
No, no problem. No problem.
I don't think we've got any more gigs for the foreseeable future, but
Yeah. Well, Danny's tied up at the minute, anyways,
he's-
right? So he's doing Jealous of the Birds.
so down with that, Farrell seems to be gaining momentum.
Yeah. Let's go. I mean, you always have something to keep going with. Yeah. I sort of done that. Like last year, we had a pretty big break with Beat Bunting because we were working on like the EP that just came out there. Let's Go Somewhere Else, and we were recording parts of it, but our drummer Adam, he went to, it was like a, I forget what he calls it. It's like some sort of thing where he teaches kids over in Italy, and it was like
Cool.
teaching music through, or teaching English through immersion in music and stuff like that. So he was gone for like 6-7 months or something like that. So there was a big break, and then I joined this other band, Slick District, for a while. Because I don't know, I can't stop with stuff like that. I don't know if you guys are like that, but I
dude,
just
like,
have to keep doing something, which is why I have like a podcast and do music
Yeah.
reviews and just everything in between whenever I'm not playing somewhere.
like before I was in Ferals, I used to be in a band from down in Portrush called Johnny Marvel,
Right.
which kind of like, it kind of ground to a slow halt once I'd started uni.
Mm.
So like, because I'd moved up here to Belfast, or this is Newtonard,
Wow.
to the
Yeah.
greater Belfast area,
Yeah.
and just like there was less and less rehearsals, less and less gigs, and then eventually we kind of came back for like a final kind of salvo of gigs, like maybe 4 or 5 shows we started playing. Then we had our final one, and by that point, then I was in Ferals again. Like before it was even called Ferals, like Shane just sent me a demo of a tune, and I was like, holy shit, this is
Yeah.
nice. Like, had to do it.
Not like something I wanted to ask you guys is because you are relatively new and at the minute you only have literally one song attached to your name. How much deliberation did you guys go through whenever you're thinking about releasing song number 1? Are you thinking like this has to be something amazing to start out on? Did you sit on a lot of songs until you had the perfect one, or did you just go for one straight away?
To be honest, I think Brendan Rodgers was written 2 years ago.
Oh, really? Right.
We have worked on different songs. A lot of songs we've actually just dropped on the day of practicing them, just being like, no,
Yeah.
that's not. We have our set, and outside of the set, we're writing new songs currently.
Mhm.
But outside the set, we wanted to rehearse the set before we release the single,
Yeah.
so that we could
Yeah, okay.
have a single to play gigs from.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, I'm with you. Yeah, no, that's probably the best way to do it. I'm just curious because I know with a lot of bands, like even myself sometimes, whenever we're writing new material, it's like, you're thinking, do we just go to keep content going? I mean, you don't want, not saying you would put out any old shit, like, but, you have a whole bunch of songs and it's like, do we just record the next one chronologically? Like, we have these 4 songs, we go into the studio and record those and put those out? Or do you sit on your music until you have something where you're like, this is it, this is the one? Because you guys have like a clean slate of one amazing song attached to your band at the minute.
Oh, we've
And
so
it-
much to live up to. That's like,
Yeah. That's what I mean. I mean,
Yeah.
should it be like it can kind of kill creativity working that way, I guess, as well. It's kind of a big question.
Like on the opposite end of the spectrum there, you have like certain bands who would like literally just put their demos up for
Yeah,
people
like
to
not
consume.
even-
and that works.
And
Yeah.
For a lot of bands, that
Yeah.
does work.
It's something, you know, I've toyed with before. Like, we've never done it, but the amount of demos we have, but they wouldn't actually be hit the B button demos because they're made by me. Like, I do the demos. It might be a song that we all write together, but I would go back to my place and I would demo them on my own and then send it to the guys just so that we can work out parts of it. But then once you have like a demo, it's like, it's not the worst thing in the world, but it's just me.
Yeah.
It's like, do people want that or do they not want that? I don't know. Like, people have asked us for songs that we haven't recorded yet, but we play live all the time. And I do have them sitting in a folder at home, and it's like, I can send you the demo if you want. And I've sent that out to a few people now, like, that have asked for this, and I'm like, is that something you should do? I don't know. I don't know what you guys think of it. Like, is that...
I wouldn't like the idea of sending someone a demo and then that person showing other people.
Yeah.
and it getting out there.
Yeah, and then it's better to do that with the full production of the song.
Yeah. I know.
I think for us, anyway,
Yeah.
when everything kind of comes together in our music, because a lot of it's very effects laden and stuff that doesn't really come through as well when it's just made sort of from Shane's bedroom.
Yeah.
So we would kind of need, I think, not saying we need studio production to sound good, because I think we sound class.
But it just sort of
yeah.
brings it to life, sort of thing.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. It's
we would sort of, I think, sort of feel that way as well, really, about it. It was just interesting to sort of hear your perspective on it.
Yeah, I mean, it never sounds like hit the B button unless we're all playing, which is just, well, I'm not just saying that, like, there was a song, we usually play it first in the set all the time, and I had a guy from another band who was desperate to hear it again, and he really loved it, so I said I would email him the demo, and I did that, and then he sort of got back, and he was like, oh no, thanks, you know, for this, but he was kind of like, there's this thing you did at the end, but it's not actually on the demo and stuff, and I was like, yeah, that's because, you know, we've ad-libbed it more and more as it's went, and it's like a completely different version of the end now, so, I mean, maybe it's not the best to put demos of, I don't know. But I was just curious.
Works for some people.
Yeah, works for some.
Just because you guys are so fresh, it's sort of trying to get what your thought process would be for, like, you know, bringing something out like that. Like, did you have a lot of pressure on the first single, or did you just go for it?
To be honest, yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We did put a pressure on ourselves, didn't we?
Yeah.
We were scared if people didn't respond to it, that was kind of the end of the band. It's
Yeah.
already been together for 2 years.
Yeah. And well, it's been together for 2 years, but you hadn't done a single yet.
Yeah.
It seems like an awfully long time. It feels like you put too much pressure on yourselves for that.
I think we were just trying to like even out all the cracks and smooth it all down,
Yeah.
and just make sure that we came into the scene with like a really big bang,
Yeah.
and we were doing it like hitting all the beats like immediately.
Yeah, I think you did though,
It's definitely paid off.
because you guys came in. I thought you'd been established for a while, just because probably the PR paying off. To be honest, You
Seeing
that
really
you everywhere,
helped. That really helped.
and then you notice you're like, okay, they only have one song attached to it. It's like I thought these guys would have like a thing just because the way the name was going around. You see, just in regards to the PR with Shailene, did you guys meet her beforehand at anything, or how did you come across using her for PR?
Well, I mean, I've always kind of known Shailene a wee bit.
I think we were chatting to Ryan,
Yeah.
or was it we recorded with Ryan and then we were like,
Oh, right.
So
So you
there's-
recorded with him first? Ah, right. That makes sense.
so he did a brilliant job on the single.
Yeah, it sounded
And we
amazing.
wanted to sort of promote it as best as we could.
Yeah,
And we know that Ryan's girlfriend is Shailene.
Yeah.
If no one knows that.
yeah. For anybody that doesn't know, they're both part of Big Wild Collective and in the band Beauty Sleep, and they just do loads on the scene. So, yeah.
But yes, so
Just to clarify.
so we just asked them, can we see about getting sort of promotion for the single through Shailene through Honeymoon PR?
Yeah.
That's how I started. We did myself and Jack met Shailene the next week, I think.
Yeah.
I was really hungover for that meeting.
Yeah.
I woke up in my friend's house at like, I think the meeting was at like 12 or 1, and it was like 5 2. I was like on the other side of Belfast. I was like, fuck! I came out, and they were both like sitting there like in this lovely, sort of nice, chilled out coffee shop. Everyone was sober as fuck. And I sat down there like, what's happening? Nice to see you. You know. It was really embarrassing. Hope I don't do that again.
I'm sure it was fine. It's smart though, because a lot of bands, especially if they're only starting on it, I don't think would consider PR something important. And it's something we still haven't done it as a band yet, but we talk about it all the time. I think it's more money than anything. Like trying to have spare money, because like every band, you just don't have a lot to throw around, and it's like, what do you use it for? Do you use it for merchandise, or do you use it for recording again, or what do you do? But PR is something we've looked into quite a bit. It seems to pay off for you guys, so that's why I'm so like interested in it. You know, sort of wondering what.
I think it all kind of. It doesn't necessarily matter what like time you do it. If you take those like 3 main concepts, so like merchandise, PR, and what was the other one? Recording. That's quite important.
Yeah, having music to do.
They all kind of feed into each other. I don't know how much you could tier their importance if you're like something.
Yeah, I mean that's difficult, isn't it? It depends.
Because they all feed into each other.
It's true. You kind of need all of them, and it's that thing that's hard to do in a band, where like maybe the best thing to do is, you know, you spend that money to go record a single, and then you would have to sit on it for a while until you can get the revenue to use PR to actually promote it properly. You know, it's tough. Like
It's tough.
being in a band, fucking sucks. It's like freaking expensive.
Oh dear.
But I'll talk about some nicer things. So you guys played Zool Radar not that long ago.
That was a great wee show.
Tell me all about that, because we are about to play.
So you are
Zool Radar.
playing. Is it the end of this week?
It's
At the end of next week?
Next Thursday.
I'm
The
buzzing.
B Button will be headlining. We only found out we were headlining the other day. We didn't realize there was like a poster up and it had all the names in a row, and then hit the B Button was at the end, and I assumed that meant we were opening. And then Ash was like, "You guys are headlining." I was like, "Oh shit!"
I talked to Ash about this. Nolan did say, but the thing was, we practiced the other week there, and we literally talked ourselves out of it in practice.
We were like,
Like,
"No,
Adam and Phil were
there's
kind
no
of
way."
No. I mean, yeah, it looks that way on the poster, but no, I think they've just done it the other way around. I think we're starting.
Just assumed that we would open the show. But yeah, we're headlining one. So tell me all about it. How did it go?
Oh, our Zool Radar show was class.
It was.
Yeah.
It was so good.
So we played in Foundry the week before, wasn't it?
Yeah. Yes. So that was our first show as current Feral.
Yes.
So
And then
yeah.
so we had played one show before that in the Atlantic Bar in Portrush.
Deadly.
Represent.
Yeah.
I hope no one remembers that show.
I think we did really shy at that
Yeah,
show.
I don't think we were very good. I think my mum came up to me, she was at the show, and she said that we were bollocks. So that was good. And then we played the Foundry show, and kind of still like.
We were on a bit of a high because so many people came, but like it was still a bit ropey with regards to our actual playing.
Again, yeah, I think the Menagerie is a lovely venue, despite the lack of lights.
Yeah, we were completely blind for our whole show.
Yeah,
It was
yeah.
mad.
Normally
Normally
it's
they have a
dark
bit
in
of
there.
lighting, but I remember like sort of the first song was starting and I was like, are the lights going? And then like I told one of my mates to like take a picture or take a couple of photos like around the stage, and they were all just like I mean they were nearly atmospheric, but it was completely like pitch black. Like, you can see there's a bit of smoke and some blue lighting around the bottom.
It could
but-
basically be any band up on stage.
Yeah, literally. And like, I remember coming off and being like, I mean, what I was playing sounded right.
Yeah.
Like, I couldn't see. So
That's maybe a good tip. Maybe we should bring like some sort of headlamp gear or something.
They
like...
sorted it out right after we
I know.
stopped
Oh,
playing.
really?
Like the
Like,
instant we were stopped.
Sweet.
Well, we had the opposite problem the last time we played, and we had like underlighting that was like pointing up at everybody's faces. Now I didn't find it too bad, but Phil was saying he was blinded.
thought
at
he was
one point.
blinded.
He
That's
couldn't
the
even
worst.
see his
Yeah.
pedals to get them on the right settings and stuff.
Yeah, that was maybe a mistake. Sick.
Well, we learned that now, so that's
Yeah.
something that we should stay away from as well.
Yeah.
But
Is it?
but with regards to that, like that show was really good, and we had a really good time.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
that
I'm
was,
so excited for it. Like,
yeah.
what was the crowd like? Crowd big?
Crowd was decent.
Cool.
It got way bigger during the end of the night,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then like you'll be able to see for yourself. There's some videos of those guys like finishing off Zool Hive. It's like Nolan and Sean Patrick and
Mhm.
like Ash and all like going like crazy with that grease cover they do.
Yeah,
And
oh
literally,
yeah.
You can see me in the front row going like, ah, like Matt McGowan fucking grabs me, and you're crowd surfing and all in it. You see a big shot.
I
of
took
his
the
pole.
video of that.
It's brilliant. Yes. Oh shit.
I was at the side of the stage.
Oh,
It's
fuck yeah.
my arse crack hanging for
Sorry
everyone to
about
see.
that, man. Sorry, my man.
It's alright, I walked into, I earned that. I need to stop drinking.
Speaking of which, do you guys need another beer?
I'm done, like, yeah, I'd love another beer, man.
Oh shit, I'm not done, but I do want
Man,
another
come
beer.
on,
That's
like, that's...
Take another one, it's fine.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's fine. That's what we get them for, anyways.
If you have loads, I don't want to be, like, taking, like,
Thank you very
your
much
beer
for
supply.
welcoming us.
It's not your-
to this podcast. This is cool as fuck. man.
Don't worry at all, man.
Sweet
Don't
as.
worry
Thank
at
you.
all.
See
That's so cold, man.
that Atlantic bar that you guys were talking about?
Yes.
Is that the one that was in danger of getting closed down or something?
I was actually saying to him on the way up, I was like, I want to talk about this. I
Yeah,
want to make a point.
Man,
We'll
we-
see.
let's
Yeah.
let's
How's
get
it
into
going?
it.
'Cause I know there's like a
Right.
petition up and stuff.
Yeah, so essentially, the town that I come from, sort of, Sam lives in a town bordering it.
Mhm.
It's called Port Rush. Fucking everyone knows fucking Barry's Amusements and
Yeah,
stuff.
of course.
And because it's a real holiday kind of town, it's kind of like the Brighton. I always call it the California of Northern Ireland, but it's nowhere near as cool.
might
Let's
might
be
be a stretch.
And basically, there's developments coming in now. We're getting the Open in 2019 or 2020, like the golf Open, because we have like a sick golf course.
Okay, right.
And that is basically going to involve loads of. I'm going to get like so like Jeremy Corbyn on this
Yeah, it's
right
gonna
now.
be.
Man,
like-
get into it.
Involve loads of these rich bastards coming down and troubling the integrity of our town. But basically, yeah, like
Yeah.
they're looking to tear down the only, like, the kind of established live music venue that has been in that town for years and years and years.
Yeah,
Literally, like, I was reading, you guys know Terry Hooley,
yeah, of course.
his book Hooligan.
Mhm.
I was reading that, and there's like photos in it of the Atlantic back in like the 70s, 80s,
Yeah.
and like all those kind of older bands and stuff. It's been an established venue for years and years and years, and like there's a really nice community in it.
Mhm.
And literally these like hotel contractors come in and they're just like, right, we're gonna tear that down, build like 5-star, 4-star hotel for golfers to come in. And the thing is, it's gonna be seasonal as well, so like nothing's gonna happen there in the winter,
Yeah,
and it's literally gonna be this one thing.
yeah.
Hmm.
That
So
ruins something that's been there for decades for one event.
it's a real shame.
It's ridiculous. I mean, how definite is it? Like, is it 100%?
As far as I know, it's not definite.
I know people are trying to protest it basically at the minute.
We're trying to get it reversed. There's a petition going around, and there's sort of someone set up a wee Instagram and all for it.
I think the petition, when I signed it, I had about 200, which
Yeah.
is, from my knowledge, is nowhere near
Nowhere
enough.
near enough.
So,
It needs more traction,
Yeah.
and hopefully it will get more traction, because honestly, I think if we lose the Atlantic, I mean, that's like a jewel in that town's crown.
Man, it's a huge deal. I mean, Danny talked about it last time he was here, and he had said this. I mean, there's nothing else up there. There's nowhere
No.
else for somebody to play if you're
Yeah.
from that side of the country. Like, I mean,
It
I-
was hugely instrumental for us, kind of getting an education in playing music and
yeah,
stuff.
That's
So we used to
what he
have-
was saying too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there was. I mean, we used to have Matt Kelly's, and then that closed down, got turned into a bistro. Sweet. And then And that was really important because that was the only place that let us play when we were like under 18. So,
Yeah. Okay.
So it's closed down, so we're allowed to say this now.
Yeah,
So we're
no,
allowed
it's
to be
fine.
open
There
about
is
it.
a
illegal activities.
there's a place near here that let us do that as well. Before Mike was in the band, whenever me, Adam, and Phil had a band with a different name, we played in somewhere like that from about age 16 or 15 or something like that. We were able to go to this place and like let all school kids in. Probably shouldn't have, but I mean it was
very
awesome that we
very important
yeah, we
also.
wouldn't be here, I don't think, if it wasn't for that.
They just served us cokes, obviously, didn't they?
Yeah.
No, like the only other place down that neck of the woods was Exodus, which was a Christian night base.
Wow. So I can't really imagine.
Yeah, we went to a battle of the bands once there. I think you guys were playing as well, and they made us pray before it.
Oh yeah, no.
Oh,
I was playing with bayonets at the time, and
Wow.
we were all completely steaming.
Amazing.
It's like,
can you imagine it?
let's go on, should we all bow our heads? And I think I remember looking over at you,
One of these didn't get back up
and
again.
you were just sitting there like,
I mean, like, no, I mean, there's a time and a place for prayer. It's not before a battle of the bands. I'm sorry. Jeez.
yeah. So
That's
yeah,
the
like
man.
having a bar that sort of let you do all that from like, I mean, I think we were about 16, 17, like verging on 18, but then they let all the like youngins come in.
Yeah.
It was handy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I know it sounds backwards, but it keeps people out of trouble. Like, you were
Yeah.
doing something creative. Like, I mean, yeah, fair enough, probably the underage drinking isn't the best, like, but I know whenever we played in this place I was talking about, I don't want to name, just in case, but, like, there was never any bother. It was always such a good time, and it actually brought people closer together, especially at school, because I wouldn't have been friends with a lot of people at the school I went to, but, like, I felt like you were after a night like that. It was
Yeah,
weird.
yeah.
It really helped me growing up as, like, a teenager to be able to go and do that and feel like I was doing something positive, I think, but I don't know. Like, I'm gonna do whatever I can to push that thing. Like, I'm gonna try and
100%.
find, like, all links for the
Is
petition
there-
and everything, and
Is there somebody, like, do you know who's, like, taking the lead on this petition, or, like,
I
the
don't know
drive?
who's taking
To,
the
Don't know.
But, like,
I know Chris Kennedy did a lot of. He's a tattoo artist in Korean.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Uh,
Really, like,
Yeah.
it's the whole community's kind of banded
Yeah.
together, because I haven't spoke to one person who's been like, oh yeah, close that bar, we'll build
Yeah.
a hotel, be sweet. Like,
yeah.
everyone's like, what?
It's
Like,
just trying to get people
yeah.
on board to all come to the one place to do something about it and
Yeah.
have their
and
voices
get
heard.
people in different towns and different cities as
That's-
well. Like,
that's
if you
the
can
other
get
thing.
people from
100%.
Belfast on board too, because I mean,
Like-
it's the same sort of things in danger of happening like anywhere. Like, so everybody should definitely stick up for
Yeah.
local venues. You know?
Yeah, I mean, if that, like, that's the thing. Even people that play in Belfast and stuff might not actually understand the importance of that. I mean, obviously, I've never been up there. I've never played it. I didn't know about it until Danny talked to me about it. And I think even at that point, whenever we were talking, I don't even think there was a risk of closure whenever we had them on.
Yeah,
I-
no, he
this
was
was
more
before
just
all that
worried
happened.
about the scene dying out up there. I think
Yeah,
was
yeah,
what he was
'cause he
well,
was-
the scene is struggling up there, yeah.
the scene is.
Really struggling.
In the last 3 or 4 years, I haven't seen a band coming out of that part of the country.
Yeah, that's tough. Danny said the same thing.
Exactly.
Just having to come to Belfast, trying to get more central to everything. But
It's like, there's even just it's a question of like resources down there as well. Like, there's no rehearsal rooms down there anymore.
yeah,
There was like last year, and then
Yeah.
the last one kind of just got shut down. So like,
Shout out to Mark Culbertson, whoever. He will not be listening to this.
I no harm, but no. So it means like, I mean, I was quite lucky when I was growing up, because for some godforsaken reason my ma let us use a room in our house, and it's not like we don't live in like a country house or anything. We live
Yeah.
in a house in the main street,
yeah.
so we're literally like someone's fucking wall is like right beside our rehearsal space. We're just like
Full kit, drums and all. Yeah.
yeah, like Aaron PA system, like the whole shebang.
What a mom.
She's some woman.
Damn, I can't even do that. Like, I'm so bad with stuff like that. I get too, like, worried and bothering someone.
Yeah.
I'm, like, too conscientious of, like, neighbours or people, and I'm just, like, every time I'm playing someone, I just turn it right
Yeah.
down.
Oh, I do that. Now that I actually like live out of my like mum's house,
Yeah.
I would never do that.
I had some bad neighbours one time. I think that's why I'm like that.
You have to be on the receiving end
Yeah.
to sort of like
And then it
understand.
sort of, like,
100%.
changes your whole perception of that. Thanks to Maracay and Focus for sponsoring this episode of the Crow's Nest podcast. Maracay and Focus is a photography business run by Neil Poole, which I had the pleasure of playing in a band with for a long time. So this guy has played the music scene before. His photography business, you know, does loads of things. He does family portraits and things, you know, for models and stuff like that. But he's expanding out into the music scene. So he's talking about, you know, doing photography for bands, and he even has a space that I've used personally for a music video, which isn't out yet, but it was a great space for using green screen. If you ever want to do a music video like that, I'm sure you could hit him up for that. But yeah, thank you so much for sponsoring this episode. He's our first sponsor, so yeah, enjoy his advertisement right now.
Hi everyone, this is Neil from Maritime Focus. We have recently acquired a new unit in Newton Ards. It's a big open space. It's clean, it's warm, it's got a nice low ceiling, and it's brick. It's white brick, so it's got a great backdrop as it is. We have currently got the black background up just for a project that I'm doing at the minute, but we can change that. So we're going to be moving into doing portraits as well as all the landscape work, and my wife Susie will be starting to do her bespoke framing, as well as a few other wee bits and pieces through the year. So if you're interested in anything we have to offer, you know what the email, info@maracayinfocus.co.uk. Thanks a lot.
Is it cool? Like,
Really cheap.
Well, we're in the middle of shooting a thing for it, or editing a thing for it now. It's that band,
Cosmic Crows.
the Cosmic Crows, yeah.
I
I'm
could
not-
potentially show you, but I'm editing it for Stu, and he hasn't seen any of it yet, so I don't know if
Yeah,
It's a
it's-
surprise.
I'm about halfway through, so.
when do you think about like releasing it? When we can-
Well, once I'm done with it, it's completely up to Stu what he wants to do with it, like, because it's there. It's him and Curtis that would normally do the
Yeah.
podcast as well. It's like there.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever seen the podcast before, but sometimes Curtis will be here. And yeah, we had this band. We actually have a full album on Spotify. Not a lot of people know that because it's something we just done as like a labor of love. Like we just done it for fun. You know, Curtis was never a musician whenever I met him at all. Like he wasn't even too big into music in general. Like he liked certain bands, but he didn't really have like a broad scope of, you know, music to get into. And whenever I met him, we started talking about a lot of blues and like soul musicians and stuff, and he got so deep into that. And then I think we first started making music because he came around to my house and we were making like some sort of spoof song. I made a couple of joke things before, and I got him on it because he has a really low like singing voice,
Yeah.
so I thought it would be funny. And then I was like, oh, we should do something. So we made this one song, Catastrophe, and then we had so much fun doing it that we were like, oh, we should like make more. And then we ended up making like a 9-track album or something called Brother Nature. And it is on Spotify, but we kind of pushed it a bit at the start, but it's just, you know, especially for a band that doesn't gig, it's hard to like just keep promoting it, so not a lot of people know that it's there. But there is a you know, a band page if you ever want to go on and hear it. It's kind of weird. We called it like Gothic Soul. We didn't know what to call it. It's got some weird like jazz elements throughout the whole thing. No, it's not that jazzy like, but it's got this like sort of jazz band vibe, and then like soul and rock elements and things. But yeah, it's like there's two very hilarious songs on it. We didn't take it too seriously. There's like jokey songs, and then there's like deadly serious stuff. So yeah, it's you should check it out. But we have a music video for one of the songs, Sexotic, which is definitely not one of the serious songs. And man, that was so funny writing that song.
It was
There's-
funny filming it as well.
The video was
bringing
fun.
his
Curtis
friggin'
brought
ninja sword. And
Curtis brought a bag of props, like, and I didn't ask him to. Like, he showed up, and I just thought he would just bring himself, but he brought like this whole duffel bag. He whipped it out. There's like costume changes and everything. I bought one pair of clothes. Like, I didn't bring anything with me.
Didn't know what you were walking into.
I'm just gonna be really normal in the whole video, and he's got like all different outfits, basketball jerseys and samurai swords and shit. And then yeah, we shot it on the green screen at Neil Space for Mariah in Focus, and it worked really well. Like, it's just the post production of green screening, if you're getting very particular about it, is
quite a lot of work involved.
yeah, it's brutal.
Like, yeah, you have to find clips first of all to go in the background, which is like hours of procrastination, like flicking through videos on the internet, and then sometimes you're like, what the hell am I looking at here? Like, for ages and ages trying to find free clips or downloadable clips that you can use, and then like removing the green screen and stuff was something that I'd never done before, so kind of like learning how to do all that sort of thing, but hopefully it will turn out good.
Yeah, I think what Mike got like really into it. Like, I mean, like professionally removing green screen. Like, honestly, if I was doing, I probably would have been really lazy, because there's like software you can use where you kind of do like an auto like removal of green screen, like, and you can just set it to the color green or whatever, and it takes it out, but it'll be very rough around the edges. Yeah. Mike's like actually like cutting around us like every time. It's like fucking insane, man.
I mean,
too much effort.
I think it's like really useful to develop those skills like now as a musician, because I don't think it's like just enough just to be able to play music anymore or write music.
I know,
like,
it's crazy. Like,
now that like it seems like the industry is just completely geared towards DIY stuff now.
Yeah.
Or it's at least getting significantly more like that.
Yeah, it's exactly what you said. It's like, I mean, whenever we started our band, we always thought we were pretty DIY. Like, you know, anything, like all the artwork was made by us. Even the first EP we made was recorded by us, because we're lucky enough to have, well, I mean, at the time it was me that produced it and recorded it, because I have knowledge of that. Adam, our drummer in our band, he is like completely like qualified in that field. You know, he has a master's in music. Like, he could do that if he had the space. He's actually doing one of our next singles that's coming up, the first one that he's doing himself. We had to record the drums with Rocky at Start Together, because that's the one thing we don't have the space for, but we're gonna record all guitars and vocals with him. But like, it's expanded so much more now. Like, we used to think that was DIY, and now it's like, I guess, kind of the PR side of it. Like, Mike takes care of so much of that for us, and it's just crazy. Like, drafting emails to write the blogs all the time, and like checking up on them if they don't get back, and like, I don't know, the stuff you do is crazy, man. It's constant. The ads that we run for the page, and the fact that we put a little bit of money into ads maybe every month. Mostly Mike does that too. And it's just, yeah, it's crazy trying to do all that. It's like the advertising, trying to be your own PR as well as doing your artwork and being a band and recording stuff, and I don't know, it's like you have to be good at everything, right?
It's full time.
You really have to juggle some shit, like.
Like, everyone says, like I think people that don't really know about music in general, like, think that like being a musician is like a really like slackery kind of thing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
like, I've
really.
heard that. I've been like, oh,
I know.
he's slacking, playing tunes, like. But like, the amount of musicians are some of the most like literally not only like business savvy, but like skilled people I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to be. You have to really think outside the box, because you're selling a product that, like, how many millions or billions of people are selling all over? I mean, it's music. I mean, there's too much music. It's like, how do you get your brand out there?
Get rid of some of that shit.
I know, let's just delete some. I mean, like, a good example, I'm kind of glad we talked about it. The Cosmic Crows that I was explaining before, right? No, like, me and Curtis love that band. We love making that stuff, but because we're not an active band, I mean, that shows you the difference in, like, you know, that thing's kind of dead in the water. We both love it. Like, we want to do as much as we can with it, but we both have jobs, and he's not exactly active in the music scene. You know, he does the podcast and whatever he can with me, but because we're not, like, it was a studio album, we're not out gigging that, we're not putting together logos, we're not doing merch, we're not doing ads, and it's like, I wouldn't be able to do that and the hit the B button thing as well. Like, generally, even everything we do at your Spaceship, the podcast included, I mean, that all goes a little bit toward it. I mean, I love doing this podcast, but it also helps with the band as well. That's like an outside the box thing, because every time we get to meet somebody new, you know, you guys find out about us, and we find out about you, so then you start connecting to more people. And that's probably the thing that's helped our band the most, and like this year has been this podcast, which is weird. I didn't really think that wasn't why we were doing it in the first place, but I was like, it's so weird how talking to other bands has like benefited us more than making music. Like, it's so weird. People are discovering our last like 2 albums before the one we just brought out just now, even though they've been out for like 4 years or something. It's mad. But yeah, that's just an example of the difference. So people who think that musicians do fuck all, you're sadly mistaken.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think off the top of my head of some of the more creative ways that I've seen like musicians kind of further their band or their brand. Like,
you know what I liked? I thought it was quite smart. Has anybody seen the latest video for Robocobra Quartet's new single?
I haven't seen their video, but
the video is quite smart. It's basically, do you know, like, there's like loads of different sites, but do you know those sites that you can go on and you can basically pay for stock footage?
Like Creative Commons.
There's one called Pawn 5. Where like you go on or whatever, and like this like footage of like a trickling creek or something is like $30 or whatever. So like the video is literally just a shot of a laptop, and I don't know if it's Chris Ryan or whatever from Robocobra Quartet, but just somebody's hands, and they go on and they basically make a music video of the clips on the website, but the Pawn 5 branding is across the video, and it's like, so they're filming this stuff and they haven't actually. So you're watching the video, I'm like, can they get away with this? Because like they haven't paid for it obviously, and then the video ends and it shows you him going to the cart and paying for the footage towards the end of the video. I was like, it's a real sort of, I think it's like a real musician's video, if you know what I mean, because like other musicians would be through, like, have gone through that trying to get footage for their videos and stuff. But I thought it was pretty funny, like without any dialogue or any sort of like, you know, action pieces or any weird sort of ideas in the video. It's literally just a shot of a laptop, but it still somehow managed to be funny. Well, to me anyways. Maybe I'm just weird.
Do you guys have any, like, I suppose, well, talk about, do you have any singles coming up? I was gonna ask you, do you have any unique music videos in the works? Like, any thoughts?
I don't know if we can talk about that.
I'll say one thing. The storyline and the saga that started in that monumental video for Brendan Rodgers is not over yet.
Oh, it's continuing. I like this. This could be a thing. See, if you tell me a little bit, I'll tell you about something that we haven't done yet. I don't know if we'll actually do it, but like, I'll tell you.
You show you mine, I'll show you yours.
Exactly. I will. I'll uncover some details.
I don't know how much we can talk about it though, because
No, I don't. Because we haven't like finalized anything really.
Neither have I. Don't worry about it.
Things may change.
Like, have you guys adopted like characters or personas for, like, you know, basically this zombie video? Do we actually have like a script in the works or whatever?
I think there's a storyline going.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it may just be for the Brendan and this next video.
I've not a fucking clue if the like is going to continue past the next video.
Because that's literally how far it goes. Oh, first one can like, sweet.
Well, somebody got bitten at the end of the first one by a zombie, right? That was you. Yeah.
It was really funny. See, while we were recording that, you know, at the end, when he's like lying off to the side, and like me and Zilla and Shane are all like, yeah, we beat the zombies, like completely just like, oh yeah, Sam's dead. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
They didn't really care.
Shailene's like recording us there, like, okay, yeah, everyone celebrate. And we're like, yeah, sweet. And all you just hear is there's a wee bit of silence, and Sam's just sitting there like, oh no, Sam's dead. And we started howling, laughing, man.
Oh, what can I say, man?
I like that. Well, we've talked about an idea for one of our music videos. I don't know if we'll actually do this or not, but do you ever play Curbsy as a kid? Like
Curbsy
or Kirby, whatever you want
Kirby,
to
the
call it.
little pink dude.
No. Like with a football. Most of it, I don't know. Everybody calls it something different.
Well,
no?
you kick it off the curb.
Well, it's like right. So if we're on the road outside there, like one person stands on one sidewalk and one stands on the other, and then you have the ball and you have to throw it, and if it bounces off the curb and you catch it again, you get like points. You ever play that as a kid? No.
I do know what you mean. We did it with our feet, but
Oh, right, okay. Right. I've never heard of that
Do
before.
things differently up
Foot
here.
Curbsy? I know you're not from here. You're from a different area.
Outlander.
Okay, maybe this idea is not gonna work. I
It's
thought
maybe not universal.
I thought it
as
would
you
be-
had once thought.
thought it would be a pretty universal idea. I just want to do a very like ridiculously over the top professional game of Curbsy that would be outrageous as a music video. So like that we would shoot it. When we start off just doing that. This is what I did as a kid anyway. I don't know. Whenever we would play it, people would always get like more extravagant ideas as it went on. So like I can't even remember what the point system was, but like if you threw it and it bounced off the curb and he caught it, then it was like 10 points. Like that was fine. But then it would be like, right, well if I throw it over like behind my head and it bounces off the curb and I catch it, then it was like 50 points. And it started getting crazy, and then it was like whenever a car was driving past, if you threw it over the car and you could do it was like 100. So I was like, right, well we'll just take that as far as possible and then start shooting it. So like, like we'll throw it and we'll get somebody to drive a car past with the windows down, and then we'll like throw it and then like recut to the inside of a car of a ball going past and then coming out the other side. So we might do that. I don't know. I need to ask more people if they know what Curbsy is first.
I think it would still work as long as the video explained the rules to Curbsy in like the first 10-20 seconds.
Well, there's like a 5-minute video of me at the start.
Not like
There's
in
like
text,
the rules
not
of
like
Curbsy.
in text form. Like if you just have like quick shots of like somebody throwing it and it bouncing back, and then like a 10 points coming
10
up
points
or something
comes
like
up,
Do
that.
it like a black screen and then the dictionary definition. Like Curbsy. The game of
I like
football.
that.
It's like,
I
yeah,
might do
works.
that. I might do that. I like it. Yeah, we might do that. I don't know exactly for what song yet, but possibly that might be the next the B button video. Sorry, that's hilarious. It makes me laugh every time. I always
think
pick
that's really important for videos as well.
what the comedy aspect.
Yeah, like, because I remember when we were talking about it, we were like, do we go for a comedic video or do we go for a serious video? As if the two are like complete opposite ends.
Yeah.
But like, I'm very much in the like Foo Fighters school of music video making.
Yeah.
Like I think my favorite music video ever is the one they did for White Limo.
Yes.
With Lemmy.
White
so
Limo's.
good.
There was like a long period of them not really doing those types of music
Yeah.
videos, and then whenever they brought out White Limo, I was like, oh, it's back. It's like back to Learn to Fly
Yeah.
breakout type of thing.
But like, I don't know, because I walked to work yesterday and listened to White Limo. In the 20-minute walk to work, I listened to White Limo 3 times. So I just kept putting it back and starting to be like, that's a class music video, man. And there's a bit where like it cuts out and then Dave Grohl comes back in with a big scream.
Yeah.
And he's just like looking off to the
It's-
camera
yeah.
going, ah!
Yeah.
And it's the funniest
Yeah,
fucking thing
and it
I've
keeps
ever seen
cutting,
in my life.
and he's always in the same like screaming face constantly.
So we kind of took that approach when we were doing Brendan, like that it would be a bit kind of tongue in cheek, even
Yeah.
though the song itself is kind of like has a very vaguely serious tone to it.
Yeah,
Like I think it really worked.
yeah. No, I
Sorry
really
about
enjoyed
it.
it. I
don't
liked
want
it.
to film a serious video and then it comes across as funny.
Yeah, well, that could be a mistake.
Yeah. Jesus God, yeah.
I
No.
suppose if you aim for comedy at the start, you can't lose,
Yeah.
can you?
And at the end of the day, like I personally am exactly like you. It's like I just want to see bands having fun and
Yeah.
like remind me of me, like hanging out with my mates and stuff. So yeah, just do the comedy videos all the way,
Exactly.
man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It's very. I mean, I want to sound annoying here, but it's kind of easy to do a serious video, I guess. You know, like, I mean, what, get a band in a room with mood lighting and strobe lighting and stuff like that. I mean, it's easier to do that than do the comedy element, to come up with something that's actually funny to do. But no, I really loved what you guys done. It was something different. I hadn't really seen that for a while, like a video like that.
Yeah, I think as well, like working on a smaller budget, it works better for that.
Yeah.
Because like often if you're trying to make like a very cinematic thing,
Yeah.
like can't really do that. Like on a couple £100. You need a big budget for that shit.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's why we want to do the Curbsy thing, because it'll
Yeah.
probably look like shit.
I better see this video, man.
Man, I hope.
I'm really excited to see this video now.
We said we'd have to wait till the summer to do it. Like, this idea is, I've been talking about this for a long time now. Like, I think it's a great idea, but like, it needs to be warm outside to do it. Because I was like, I want to get in some sports gear for this. Like,
we're doing it tonight.
we start shooting
it's a
tonight.
beautiful day outside.
I know. This would have been a perfect shooting
Get
day
them
for
in
this. I want to have, like, you know, the knee-high sports socks and shit, and like
Yeah.
a
Goggles and
headband
stuff.
and everything.
Look like Lakers
Yeah.
jersey.
That'd be great.
Love it.
And just like one, I just have this idea for the end that just has to be like one outrageous shot where like you throw the ball and then we'll just keep filming a thing in like slow-mo where the ball like goes off and it like goes into people's houses and stuff and bounces off walls and just goes continuously and everyone's just looking on like what the hell, and then eventually it just comes back. That'll be great. I think I can do it. I don't know, the idea's there, and then I might get to shoot and I'll be like, how the fuck am I gonna do this thing?
That's we could steal that idea and release it, and then
You could.
you know,
That's ours now.
that's ours. We're not gonna tell you yours.
This podcast will come out and everyone will know. And they'll hate you for
Just
it.
delete all that part.
Yeah.
One of your guys done like a promo video on your Facebook, like as a wrestling sort of promo, right?
Yeah.
That's why I was kind of like asking about characters as well, because
Yeah.
he was wearing that cheetah style coat, sort of fur coat thing as
Yeah.
well. I was like,
The like leopard print
Yeah,
thing. And
so
then,
Zilla wanted to be a wrestler.
Yeah.
Like legit, Zilla loves professional wrestling. Like to the point where whenever we were recording this recent release in our Airbnb, we stayed up there for a few days, and like one of the nights we like watched WrestleMania with him.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
got blocked.
Yeah. It was great.
Good. But yeah, he always said to me. I remember he said to me, he's like, "Yeah, I was thinking about going into professional wrestling, but sort of didn't work out these past few years, so just go platinum instead."
Go platinum.
But yeah, that video
Genius.
just came out of nowhere. I think Shailene was just like, right, I just want to get some I'm testing out the camera, get some wee establishing shots of you.
oh,
And
was
so I
that
just
shot the
turned
same
around
day
and
as
was
the
just
video?
like, I have 6 women every night of my life. And just started going into it, and we were howling laughing. You can hear us in the back of the video, just like crying, laughing. It's
Can you
brilliant.
find it? Is it on there?
Yeah,
It
I
should
probably
be
should
on
do.
somewhere.
I kind of want to see it. I haven't actually seen it.
It's so funny.
It is good.
This is
It was for Battle of Bands or something.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
we did it as a call out to the other bands,
Alright, okay.
and we got through the semi-finals.
You did? Like,
There
you
you go.
still have to play that, right? It's in June.
Yeah, that's 9th of June.
Who's in your heat, do you know?
Romeo, Indigo Romeo.
Are they in
They
it?
are,
Oh.
yes, they're in there. Scallions as well.
It's a tough one. Like
Life Under the Big Top, and someone else. Oh, I feel really bad if I didn't play else.
Steve Locke not playing with us.
Steve Locke's not playing.
He is. He was in the email.
Wasn't he?
Yeah.
He wasn't on the poster.
It is
Sometimes
the
they do.
Scallions, Romeo, Indigo Romeo, Life Under the Big Top, Ferals, Steve Locke.
Steve Locke is on the thing.
Yeah.
Why do you think Steve Locke wasn't on the thing?
Because he wasn't for like.
They maybe change it around. They do that sometimes.
Yes.
Especially if somebody maybe contacts them and says, "Look, I can't do that. Can I be in the other one?"
Yeah. Big up Steve Locke, by the way. He's fucking incredible.
I don't know here.
It's not often. He's like a rapper.
Right,
I
okay.
feel it's like not often you hear like good hip hop coming out of here, but he is really something else.
I've
Like,
never-
his live show's
yeah.
really good.
I've never heard hip hop in a battle of the bands. Oh shit, there it is.
Oh, there's the big man.
Oh, hold on.
Oh, we need audio.
You
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we have to.
This is an amazing TV, by the way.
Cheers, thank you.
Beats the shite out of my TV.
Yeah, me too.
Here we go, boys.
And that's no word of a lie, brother. 16 Bloody Marys, tequila, a whiskey, more beer, tequila, what? Then I go to White Castle, order a couple burgers, a little meat, and a little onion, and then I go on with whiskey, man. That's why I'm the greatest European world wrestling champion of all time.
Like that came out of nowhere.
Quality.
He just started doing it. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life, man. It's so good.
Needs to be more like that. We had. It'd be like impossible to find now. It was way too long ago. But our guitarist uploaded a really fucked up video to promote one of our gigs once.
yeah.
It's probably the weirdest fucking thing you've ever seen. But that's just Phil all over.
Right, I think you're gonna have to show us this now.
Yeah, I kind of want to see
I
this.
don't know if I'll be able to find it. It was that long ago. It's not as impressive costume wise, and there really is no Yeah.
He made it himself. Out of a cardboard box.
I am so excited to see this video, man.
Man, Phil is a unique man.
There's not really a theme per se either, like as in wrestling and stuff that you guys had there. It's kind of just
It's well, I can't wait. I can't wait to have Phil on this podcast. Phil is a hard person to explain until you meet him, and he's gonna watch this and he's gonna get really paranoid that I talked about him on this. Like, but I think our plan is it's probably a good idea to tell everyone. I think we're gonna wrap up season 1. We're gonna call it of this podcast at episode 10. So this is episode 8. So we're gonna get one more band on in between then, and then hopefully do a hit the B button special for episode 10 to round off the season, which should just be like a fucking romp, because I think we're just gonna like get drunk and order pizzas.
E3,
That's my-
man, do it for E3.
Well, we could, that's actually a good
that would be a
fucking
really good
idea.
actually.
Do it on the Friday.
Yeah.
Belfast is on the Thursday, and then we could do it on the Friday before
Belfast on
E3.
the Thursday?
No, it's not. It's on the
Friday.
Friday.
It's
Ah,
on
shit, I'm
Friday.
wrong. I'm wrong.
Do it after we come home from that.
Yeah, I know. Start filming at
I
like
have a
3
week
a.m.
off next week, and my rota goes up to Thursday. So is it not on Thursday? I better not be working Belfast.
Next Thursday's.
Oh,
nursery.
No,
it's the
yeah, it's the Thursday after, or the Friday after.
yeah.
sorry.
Belfast isn't until June, like.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah, it's
my
fine.
head's lit. Sorry, everybody.
Yeah, no, you're thinking
It's not the
There's
Microsoft
Radar.
conference first, though.
I think on the Saturday, the Saturday night.
That's not, you don't care about that.
Fuck Microsoft.
Would have bothered me before, but now I have both. So
I
I'm
know.
okay.
Mike has just got himself a PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
He's came over to
Beautiful
the
console.
yeah,
I love
came
it.
over to the light side.
It's just Microsoft just have no good like single player games coming out for the foreseeable future, and like the Sony lineup is incredible. So
You've got God of War. How's that?
oh, it's great. But I like literally I got to play it the first day that I got it, and like haven't got anywhere near that PlayStation since. It's been like
Really?
about a week and a half or
It's
something. So
so
I'm,
good.
Yeah, it's
I-
really good.
I can only extremely recommend Horizon Zero Dawn as well.
Yeah,
I don't
that's-
play a lot of games,
Yeah.
but I've been playing that for like 3 days straight and
Oh,
proper.
really?
Like it's proper. Like I get home from work at like midnight and stay up till like 4 or 5 in the morning playing it. Just like,
Is it like
I don't wanna stop.
online? Like
No, it's single player.
Oh,
I don't
right, okay.
even know if it has any online capability.
I don't know. See, I don't. I just hate online gaming. Like people get really mad at me, but I just
I
can't.
miss just being able to like load up like old school.
Yeah.
Kind of, cause my first console was Nintendo 64, so I played like Ocarina of Time, Majora's
Yeah.
Mask,
Yeah,
still
baby.
my favorite game of all time.
Man, I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
I am a Zelda nerd. Like you have no fucking idea. the stuff I have in my house, like the merchandise. I have the Hylian sword and shield mounted on my wall, like full-size replica things. I have like the Hyrule Historia. I have all these tiny little
Is that the
things.
big green book?
Yeah.
Every time I go into Forbidden Planet, I'm like, I can afford that.
You have no
Why
like.
haven't I bought that?
I'm just a bit of a freak with it. Like I always have, because it's like the first game I think that really got me. Well, I mean, technically the first game that got me was Super Mario World on the SNES, but
Nice.
because that's the first console I remember having. I think anyway. Didn't we have that?
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Or
we played
no,
it.
the SNES. No, I don't think we had our.
Where did I
cousin
play
had
it?
Our cousin.
Oh,
had
our
it.
cousin had it. That's why. I was like, I always played it somewhere, like all the time. It was always Super Mario World
Yeah.
and Tiny Toons Adventure.
A
Yeah.
classic.
That's a fucking classic, man. But yeah, Ocarina of Time is the game that got me into gaming. Like I play it every year at Christmas, like every year.
That
I've
sounds
completed
like
it.
a really nice tradition.
I've completed it like, God, it must be near like 20 times or something now. I'm like getting to the point where I'm trying to, like, I'll never be that good at it, but I'm trying to do all the speedrun techniques.
Yeah.
Like I can glitch the fuck out of it. Like
Yeah.
I've played it far too much.
Completed in 14 minutes.
Yeah. Man, I've been so up to date with like the people that have been breaking that game. I was just mesmerized the first time I seen that you could beat it in like 20 minutes. It was whenever the world record at the time I started watching them, and then it just got shorter and shorter. And there's like a new glitch they do now where it's so ridiculously short. Much more complicated though.
Yeah.
I can do like some of the glitches from the other one, but like yeah, this new one's just way too hard and too much luck involved. Like the amount of resets you have to do to actually get it is insane. Too complicated to explain though. It's like ridiculous.
Like you're not gonna get like that kind of breakability anymore with games, really, are
Yeah,
you?
because they can patch them all now.
Yeah.
Unless it's Bethesda, of course. Which is,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They pride themselves.
It's something I feel like ridiculously strongly about. It's like I can't be bothered with especially with the online elements and microtransactions. It's like I miss buying a game and just having a game. Like I mean that was the point of it. It cost you like whatever it was, £40 or £50, and then you had that game. It was fine. There was nothing to worry about after that.
Yeah.
And I was getting freaked out the other day because I thought to myself, whenever I was a kid, like my parents would have been worried I was spending too much time on a game or that there might have been violence in it, right? But that's not what I'm going to be worried about for my kids whenever I grow up, because I was on that generation. The thing I'm going to worry about is like, are they going to spend all my money?
Oh shit.
You know
Stole
what?
my credit card.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like that was never an issue. I was like,
Jesus.
it was never an issue. You have your details on it for like your games, because like I'm still gonna be gaming clearly whenever I'm a dad. Whenever.
of course.
Yeah.
And then you have to worry. Like I mean, if your kid has your phone to play something on it or like plays the games on it, they might just buy stuff.
It's crazy now how like my little cousin is pure into. He has a wee iPad and he like fucks about in that with like Pokemon Go and shit.
Yeah.
And, like I'm just like, these are like businesses getting their
Even something as innocent.
tendrils.
It's something as innocent as catching Pokemon. It's like, you want some more Pokeballs? Like you can pay with real money to get more.
So, in my household, I live with Charlie Cairns from Wasps.
Oh yeah.
Me and him, we love FIFA. We love FIFA. And the amount of money we spend on FIFA is ungodly. It's not.
Crazy.
He'll send me Snapchats at like 3 in the morning just of FIFA. Like I'm not into
PAX?
football at all.
No, neither
like
am I.
at all. Like what? But like literally, it's just like the screen with some football happening on it, and you just hear like him. Oh, aye. Yes, lad. And like some wee man pops up. He's like, "You're joking me, lad."
So like,
What's that?
I know we're so off topic. I'm sort of waiting. Oh, Mike, find the video. That's okay.
Facebook wasn't loading.
Oh,
that's
shit!
right.
Yes.
Yes,
There you
it's
go. Can you just appreciate how many times he's written Phil's head on the cardboard and
Did he realize
did
it
it
was
wrong?
backwards?
Well, whenever I spoke to him, he was afraid of the mirroring effect whenever he videoed himself, so he had written it backwards and then realized that the mirror would fix it for him anyways.
Oh, no.
So like he was trying to be smart and like I don't know. That's it.
What is the like?
He kept the box for ages.
Is he wearing the box?
It's still going. Where is he?
Oh, yeah, Center.
He's broke my computer. Just do the rest of the podcast.
I don't think I can.
So,
Why was he wearing the cardboard thing?
It's literally.
Whoever posts anything to the band's Facebook.
hey, Shailene.
Is this live?
No,
this is
unfortunately, well, I mean, Facebook's live, but this won't be.
That's really strange.
Anyone who didn't
Weird.
see that, like Shailene,
That's
just like popped up
Yeah.
with Lightyear spaceship and stuff. So
Oh, yeah, I'll make sure to zoom in. Can we soundboard that? I just bring it up every once in a while.
I take it you guys have seen like the videos that have been coming out for like the Zool shows.
Yeah, I've been seeing some of them anyway.
Like are they like
do you mean on?
Polygon or Polydor or?
Oh yeah,
Animated
that
ones?
was
Oh,
so cool. Such a good idea.
But yeah, no, I'd seen the Zool one recently, but no, it's just like it was hilarious. It was just the characterization of Nolan and Ash.
Yeah, it's not on the Zool page though, is it?
I don't know where it is.
If you find there's one for the most recent Zool one, the third one, where it's like Nolan and Ash talking, and like Ash teleports into the bathroom and Nolan's
Yeah,
shit.
Yeah, and Ash is like he's like so paranoid nobody's gonna come to the show. Yeah, that was great.
Oh, that's great.
And it was just like sick. They just start saying things that they would say.
Deadly.
Deadly. Oh, there we go. Sorry.
Oh, this one for us, yeah. This one's so good.
Snapchat. Oh wait, fucking Debo. Hey Nolan, man, and Hush, most strange, and 100 other fans. Yo dude, you've been promoting this shit for Thursday, man. That boy. Most strange, monkey, part-time pilots and ferals. All the lads in Empire. Hella dope, dude. Did you just do it on Facebook? Not really like I used Peebo. Figured it would bring in a whole new crowd. Dude, that is super whack. I don't even think Peebo is still going. What? Fuck man, you are really old. I bet no one's gonna go now and it'll be all your fault. No.
Sweet music here.
Fuck. I guess I was wrong. There's too many people here. I'm gonna go home.
Those are
So
fantastic.
They're brilliant. That's a creative way to
Yeah.
market a show.
It really
That's a
is.
really creative way to market a show.
They're so funny. I love those. I can't even remember the first one I seen, but I was like, what is this? That's the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Oh, they're great.
It was.
Do you mind if I go for a piss?
No, go
I've
ahead.
been like nursing these beers, like.
No, work away, man.
So-
We'll
Has anyone else on the podcast drank as much beer as we have had?
probably Danny and Ash.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
that's
That's,
about it.
fine. I was worried
That's
whenever the third beer was
See-
coming out. I was like, I'm gonna be blocked.
If you watch to
Potentially, you guys have the most beers to drink because I bought the same 18 pack, but there's less people.
Oh, I'm telling you,
There's
now.
less people drinking.
Usually-
day outside.
Usually me, Andy, and crew may partake in the beers with
Yeah.
you, but because they couldn't come tonight and I'm not drinking beer, then
It's just me that's taking your beers on you.
Fuck yeah,
Like
man.
other than that, there's an 18 pack in there.
It's something I don't do enough whenever I'm on this. Is like I always trying to make sure I talk about things that are actually going on now, but I probably don't talk to bands enough about what they're listening to, like
Yeah.
other bands, So I like to get into that. I done it with Zeal on the last podcast. 'Cause
You
I
guys
brought-
were talking about Beatles.
I brought
was
all
listening
my
to your one.
Beatles records. Yeah,
Like-
my first pressings.
That's amazing. That's so cool.
Yeah, man, it's like I don't know. I haven't got one in so long because I've been trying to like save money and stuff now. But
We have like a couple in the house. My uncle passed away like last year or earlier this year, and he was like a huge music head, like proper like during the 60s and 70s.
yeah,
So he got the chance to like meet the Beatles and shit.
what?
Like
Serious?
proper moved over to like London and like hung out in there, like over there. So he got like he was like hanging out with those guys. And like
Those bags. I've never heard them called that before.
oh,
them bags.
Beatles vibes.
The Beatles bags.
But like So like obviously whenever he passed away, like we got his record collection, which was huge.
Yeah.
He was a huge Elvis fan. All those
Right.
like classic kind of rock and roll artists, but me and like my brother and my mum and my wee sister were like looking through them, and we think they may be first pressings. We're not sure.
Really?
We can't say for sure, but
Yeah.
we're quite confident that they could be.
That's crazy.
Next time I'm home, I'll get some pictures because I know you were
Yeah.
saying like there's certain wee things that
It's-
you can pick out.
It is pretty difficult. Like I sort of said on the Zeal thing because I realized whenever I started bringing them out, I was like a bit nervous about. I was like, see if somebody just turns around and says, "No, it's not first pressing, you fucking idiot." Like it's just so hard to tell though. There's little numbers and stuff on it that you can go to, but it's like all these little stupid things, like stuff that's ripped or missing on the covers that they changed over
You were
time
saying
or
about
whatever.
like was it John's coat is like frayed on
Yeah,
the sleeve or
it's
something?
sprayed on the sleeve of Rubber Soul, and then they airbrushed it out, I guess, on later pressings. Rubber Soul is one of the weird ones, though, where it's like... I said this on the podcast, I'll probably not include this because I'm repeating myself, like, but it's so weird because they... For a first pressing, like, usually, I mean, it's once all stocks last and they sell out, and then you'll move on to second pressings, but the first pressing for Rubber Soul is only from the day it was released because they recalled everything after that. It was mastered way too loud. So, like, you can kind of tell that you have the right version because if you play it next to your other records and it's really loud, you're like, okay, that's right. Yeah. Okay, great. It's just saturating like crazy.
So what is your favourite Beatles album then?
Oh, we tried to answer this on the last podcast. Too difficult because they're a band that just keeps changing, so it depends what mood you're in. You know, some days I'm just like wanting Please Please Me, but that's like that old school rock and roll stuff, you know. And then they have the whole psychedelic stage, and like I don't know, it really depends. Abbey Road's like an epic masterpiece, like a big music suite. I find it too difficult to pick. I guess if I had to put it down, I'd say like Sgt. Pepper's, which is a generic answer, but that's the album that like allowed me to get into the Beatles, I guess. So yeah, I'd probably say Sgt. Pepper's. You guys listen to a lot of the Beatles now?
Not as much as I should. I feel like every musician has...
People feel it's a rite of passage.
I
but
feel like every young male musician has a Beatles phase and has a Metallica phase. And that has to happen.
I'm still waiting on my Metallica phase then because I've never had one.
Like whether it be like you'll be like 40 years old or whether it be 80 years old, you'll be sitting there on like your deathbed like right.
Suddenly it's just be like a Metallica.
But yeah, my Metallica phase I think lasted for like one weekend. Where they were playing at a festival that I was going to, and I was like, "Fucking search and destroy."
I remember there was a time whenever you used to love to play Master of Puppets on Guitar Hero over and over again.
Me? Oh fuck! I don't remember that at all. Oh no, it wasn't. It was one.
Oh, was it one? Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, Guitar Hero, man. Don't even get me started.
That probably inspired a hell of a lot of people our age to start
become
playing
musicians.
Probably, actually.
Yeah.
Like the movie School of Rock.
Yeah.
Dude, no, yeah, legit. What's the wee? I was with my friend the other night in work, and I did the wee handshake that he does. You know that let's rock today. And she looked at me. She's a wee bit younger than me, and she was like,
"What was that?"
"Fucking rare boy.
Don't get the reference.
Do not speak to me."
Yeah, I was obsessed with Guitar Hero when it came out. Like, I mean, I was gonna enter that competition. I played in that competition, didn't I? I think I got to the final and then never showed up because it was too weird.
What competition was this?
It was the local thing, like, but it was like, I can't remember. I think it was Game of the World ran it, wasn't it?
I used to work in it used to be in Newton Ards whenever they were popular, but then everybody realized it's just cheaper to buy your own PCs, but like a LAN gaming center. My mate.
We had a Game of the World in Korean.
Yeah, it was a franchise. Like there was
so my mate's brother bought into the franchise in Newton Ards.
Was there one in HMV? Am I getting that right?
I don't think so. There was one in Bangor. Definitely.
Yeah, there was one in Bangor. And then there was one in Newton Ards and Cumber. And it was my mate that kind of like ran it, and he's like, "Do you want to like work part time here?" So like I worked during the day in Asda, and then at night I would like go there, and he would pay me to basically sit and play computer games with people and like run competitions and stuff. But they had like a Guitar Hero one night. And I like used to do lock-ins in there and stuff all the time as well. It was so much fun.
Oh,
Really, really
That's
good.
like
Good times.
I can't throw away my I have like almost all the Guitar Hero games. I didn't get the new one because like they started going downhill.
I don't.
But
yeah.
What was the new one?
The
They
Guitar
got,
Hero
like,
Live.
6 buttons now instead of 5, and they're like.
There's two rows, one underneath the other. They're trying to make it more like a guitar, but it doesn't. It was stupid. It's...
There was man, honestly, fucking Dewey Finn of all
What a
the like characters in any fucking film. I took so much inspiration. And literally Jack Black in general, right? If you can find a picture of like young JB from The Pick of Destiny,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
what I used to look like. I used to have really long hair, and I was like totally like that.
I'm gonna need to now find an old picture of you and do the
Oh, dude,
comparison
I wish
thing
I
like we did
had
with
one.
Nolan and Tim Minchin.
And Tim mentioned.
Dude, legit, oh my goodness. Like, every so often this exact situation happens and I have to like text my mom and be like, can you send through a picture of me? But it's just probably a way of doing something. I don't know if I can get one.
How do you
You
feel?
can sort us out and we'll edit it in.
Yeah, well, like put it in
Yeah,
there
actually,
so
well,
they
I'll
in
get you one tonight.
post-production.
I will get you one of those tonight.
Do you know there's a second Pick of Destiny movie coming out?
I did
Like
see that.
officially?
Oh
how,
my
how do you
goodness.
feel about that?
I watched the first one recently and like
Does it hold up? Because I haven't watched it in a
Not as
awful long
much.
time.
the album, the Pick of Destiny album is class.
The record is amazing.
like there's a song on it called Storm the Gate,
Yeah, yeah.
which is like him breaking into the Rock and Roll Museum.
Yep.
And he's like singing through, and then at one point he's just like shit, electric eye, and there's a fucking
There's
security
a
camera looking at him.
CCTV, yeah.
And that always busted me when I was a kid. Like I was screaming, laughing at that. There's
It's-
such a mad band Tenacious D.
I know. I had a weird experience with that movie because I listened to the soundtrack first before I even got to see the
So
movie.
did I.
I think
Yeah.
it came out beforehand or something. But like I had listened to it on repeat like for ages, and then I had to watch the movie to give the songs context. Because like there's like Beelzebub and stuff at the end.
Yes.
I remember learning that on guitar, just like playing it like crazy, and the metal obviously.
Oh,
Great
what
song
a
to play.
fucking great film, man.
I know. And then the next record was kind of terrible.
Rise of the
Rise
Phoenix?
of the Phoenix.
I thought it was like alright. It didn't have a film to back it up,
I guess
which I
that was.
thought was its main.
Which it could have.
Yeah, they never did. They never
That's a
needed movies
creative
before.
way to market your album.
Make it a musical.
Spend a couple of $1 million.
Rather than just like that second video, you know, maintaining the theme of the first video. No, just movie. Just
Film,
go
yeah.
straight out.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like I've said this, I think we should approach Ferals like gorillas do, and do like phases.
Yeah,
So like phase 1, I think was the first album, and then phase 2 was Demon Days, and then phase 3 was Plastic Beach. And now we're on phase 4, which is Humans, and it sucks.
yeah. I was about to say that this phase is terrible. Then.
Yeah, there's like, I mean, that whenever that album was coming out, I was buzzing for it, and then
So was I.
There's like
What a letdown.
maybe like 4 or 5
Yeah,
pretty good songs in it, and the rest of them were pretty
I
trashy.
have not revisited it since the
Yeah.
first listen. I just couldn't go back. I love Plastic Beach. I was
Great
really
album,
into
really
that. Yeah,
underrated album.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Like White Flag is like
Oh,
one of the most
Very-
weirdly unique songs. Like the
boom.
melding of like the
Yeah.
orchestra with the rap is just that's weird.
It's like who's on that? It's like some 'cause I
Keno,
obviously- It's like
Keno, and somebody else.
Bashi or something, and then like
Can't
the
remember.
Syrian National Orchestra.
Yeah, it's like the last thing you expect on a feature.
Yeah.
Like what the fuck is that about?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't listened, I'd highly recommend you going. It's like one of the weirdest hip hop tracks you'll ever hear. Like, yeah. So, let's talk about this. We're a bit late. Get into this. It's been out for a long time now.
Yeah. That's a fucking good album.
What did you guys think?
I disagree with you.
Oh,
I'd say
get
it's a
into
very
it now.
poor album.
Feel free to peruse.
I love
By the
this
way, sorry, I stole this from
controversy.
you earlier.
This is like the big boy version. This is with
Yeah.
all the Prince and shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
baby.
completely forgot. All the stuff comes out from the top.
Oh no.
On the
Oh,
other
this
side.
wee bit.
Yeah.
Sweet
Up, no,
ass.
up at the top.
I'm so worried.
I was doing the same thing. No, don't worry at all, man.
So delicate.
Oh, that's the feet don't feel me thing. Oh, dude, it's so cool.
Take all the artwork out there and have a wee flip through. There's so much stuff comes with that. It's crazy.
Artwork is so lethal. I think he's one of my favorite like artists.
Who? Josh Homme?
Oh no.
Oh,
like,
sorry.
Boneface.
Oh, Boneface for
The
the
guy who
artwork.
does,
Sorry, I
like-
thought you meant like on the
Like, all
record.
along. And these are for each tune. That's really cool.
Yeah, I don't blame them for using him again because like the like
it
clock.
really works.
I have it's funny because you have this one and I have the like clockwork, like deluxe edition that has all the artwork in it, and it's like yeah, it is very pleasing to look at.
I'm just
See, this is awesome. This is pretty awesome. Like
The
I would love
artwork,
to
yeah.
have something like this.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
I was
definitely.
gonna buy the deluxe edition, but like the week it came out, like I bought it on the day it was out, and I just didn't have like enough money. Like I think it was like 30, 40.
Yeah, I
50.
was exactly the same. It's like
Yeah.
I really want that, but oh man, it's
I
pricey.
wish I
and
just
then
went for it.
I can't remember if it was my birthday or what, but Jade just bought it for me, and I was like,
Class.
oh my god, thank you so much. This is amazing.
Yeah.
No, like if I'm honest, I had made a conscious decision. Like I was gonna order this, like pre-order it, and then whenever I heard it, I don't hate it, but there's a reason I didn't get it. You know, like I don't know.
I love like Clockwork,
So do I.
Yeah.
So do I.
and I was
It's-
expecting to be more on that vein, and I feel like Josh Homme's just taking the reins too much with
That's
the band.
so weird though, Stu. With like the whole thing with the Arctic Monkeys changing direction, and you appreciated that so much, and then
No,
like
no.
Queens like take a different direction.
But they didn't really.
That New York Arctic Monkeys album was fucking shite.
Ah, fuck off.
I actually
Let's not get into that.
I was just waiting because, like, right, personally, I really didn't like AM. I think I was when
I
it
wasn't
came out.
like I liked it, but I wasn't like. I find it a bit bland to listen
Yeah.
to.
I went to see them on that tour.
You're alright.
On that tour.
So did I. So did I.
They were pretty good. It was a Dublin gig. Did you go to that one?
No, I'd actually seen them at they headlined Reading and Leeds festivals. Oh, I was there.
Really, like they're great live.
They are.
No matter what, even if they played again, I'd probably go see them. 'cause
Yeah,
they're
they're
actually
awesome. Yeah,
really
they're so good.
live. But no, that album's trash. That is actual trash.
What, the new one?
Yeah.
I
Like-
have to disagree.
I suppose like they went for the kind of. They were going for the kind of leather jacket, big riffs, kind of. You could tell that Alex Turner had been hanging out with Josh Homme a wee bit.
Well, the Sheer Humbug was the record that he co-produced.
Yeah. And like
s-
he featured, like Alex Turner featured in like Clockwork as well.
Did he?
He was
Yeah.
in If I Had a
If I Had a Tail, and then yeah,
Yeah.
and then on AM, Josh Homme sings on Knee Socks, and One for the Road, I believe.
Does Josh Homme play guitar in a Biffy Clyro track? Am I getting that
Bubbles. The guitar solo at the end of Bubbles.
right? Really?
Yeah.
That's sick.
Oh yeah, is that right?
It's
I
really
didn't
cool.
actually know. I know that I forget his name, but the lead singer Band of Horses sings on that record too. On
Really?
Opposites. On the song Opposites.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, if you
It's one
actually
of my favorite writers.
oh man, it's the title track. Yeah, like 99% sure that's the song it is, but he sings with him on it.
Yeah.
You can hear it at the end, it's the harmonies. Like
I'll have to go
he
back and
sings
listen to
backup
that.
harmonies, it's beautiful. He's
Yeah.
such a good vocalist, like he's amazing.
They're a big band that I think inspired me, probably you as well,
Biffy.
for playing music.
Biffy,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
Love
we-
Biffy.
My old band, Johnny Marvel, we always got kind of slagged off for being a bit of a Biffy Clyro tribute band.
Oh really?
By yous lot. Sick.
Biffy or mid like I gotta admit in recent years not so much for me, but like
yeah.
early day Biffy I was like super into.
Yeah, no. Again, another
Fucking
band
tune.
with a trash album that came out.
I didn't mind Ellipsis. It was
There's
alright.
some good tunes in that.
I did listen to it quite a lot. It just it wasn't the same really. I mean, I know it was similar. Ellipsis was similar to what Villains was like for me. I'm not turning around saying it was utter shit. I still listen to tracks often,
Yeah.
but it's just not the same vibe I got from like past records from both
Yeah.
bands. You know, especially Villains for like Queens just felt a bit weird. I mean, yeah, I suppose it is similar to like the Arctic Monkeys took a different direction, but I definitely expected them more to do that because I done a breakdown of it. Like I don't know if
Yeah.
you've seen it or not, where I try and get into all this stuff. Where you know it's fair enough if people don't like it, but they definitely have eras of Arctic Monkeys that keep changing. I don't think it's any surprise that they done that. Whereas Queens of Stone Age, I mean, they change a little bit. They definitely have different themes for records, and it changes a bit. Like Era Vulgaris was very like industrial
They called that
electronica,
rock.
a bit, yeah.
Yeah, I love
And
that.
I loved it. But and then you have like Songs for Dead that has the whole like theme throughout of the radio stations,
Yeah.
stuff like that. But you still have that good Queens of the Stone Age vibe, and that's just what I thought. Like, I thought that was a bit lost in it, but it
Get
could
that.
have been the Mark Ronson production thing.
Yeah.
Seemed like an odd choice from the start, but Josh Homme was just sort of like, why the fuck not? Like, that was his attitude
Yeah.
towards it, is he wanted to have fun with it, which is just such a weird twist, because they brought out Like Clockwork, which was like the darkest, most serious thing
Yeah.
they could have done,
Yeah.
and then went for like, okay, we're gonna have some fun on this one. So I mean, it makes sense, but that's probably why I
I
enjoyed
think
it less.
Villains doesn't have any, like, coming from a guitar player point of view, doesn't have any riffs that really come out to me. Every
Yeah.
Queens of I listen to Queens of Stone Age because of the riffs. I
Yeah.
always have.
Yeah, I mean, what do you call it? The Evil Has Landed. That was like, to me, the best song on it. That and Domesticated Animals.
Oh, great tune. The bounce on that tune.
It's the what's it in 7/8 or something like that. It's got a weird time signature to it.
I actually listened to that in the shower this morning.
Alright.
I was just like, it's fucking stinking, man.
I did love it whenever Feet Don't Fail Me comes on at the very start. I do like it. It's got the epic intro, and it kind of,
Yeah.
I felt like, if this is me getting into my breakdown mode where I start looking into things too much, it felt like they were doing that really ambient, like, old Queen sound, and it was getting like louder and louder, but then all of a sudden it snaps into highly compressed, like,
Yeah.
disco drums, like, like, and I
There's-
was like, is that a message to say, like, that ain't gonna be here? Like, you know,
Yeah.
we
That's
make this
cool.
whole ambient deserty noise, and then it just gets sucked out into compressed drums and like wah riffs, and I was like, oh shit, this is a different type of record, you know.
The first time I heard that was the tune I was really excited to hear, because they did a wee teaser.
On
for that.
that's
The
a good
Lie
example of a band
Lie
doing
Detector
amazing
teaser, yes.
promotion. Yeah.
And like me and it was actually Shane and my housemate Luke were out at the pub. I don't know why Shane was up. Maybe we were rehearsing that day, or no, we were rehearsing the day after, because I went in the morning and bought the LP. And it got to midnight and we were sitting at the pub, and it was just across the road from my house, and I like flicked on and thought, there's a chance. Flicked onto Spotify and it was all there, and I was
Yeah.
like, because I've been so buzzing for it, and I was
Yeah.
like, guys, we need to leave. What? We went back to the house, went into my kitchen, loaded up his Bluetooth speaker and turned off the lights in my kitchen so it's pitch dark, and just pressed play, and like the atmosphere of Feet Don't Fail Me,
Yeah.
like I was literally sitting there like,
Yeah, it does
just
make
going
you.
for it, yeah,
It makes you
that's
get
a
into it.
banger, man. That's
You know what's really funny to think about? It's so fucking weird that was that release day for that? Like, whenever you looked up to see if it was out after midnight or whatever.
it was the day before coming into release day,
Yeah.
so it was
So
released on.
me and you were probably doing the exact same thing on that
No
night.
way.
I listened to it as it was coming to midnight or whatever. Josh Homme was on Beats with Zane Lowe, and they were playing the album in full, and Josh Homme would talk about each song in between.
That's cool.
So it was funny because I was the same as, like, I was sitting in my living room by myself with all the lights on, just listening to this thing, and I was like, that's so weird. It was like me and you doing the same thing
Yeah,
on the
man.
same day. It's
That's-
strange to think about,
Music
but
brings people together.
it does.
Connectivity. It's beautiful.
It's gonna bring world peace.
Yeah.
But yeah, Biffy was sort of the same thing. I mean, it was because they'd done the huge double album of Opposites, which was just sprawling and massive, and then like right back down to like very mainstream, like let's
Yeah.
try and pop a couple of singles out again. That's what it felt like.
For me, like, because Biffy do it in phases. Like they've said that their first 3 albums are supposed to be like in
Yeah,
a kind of world of their own, and then their next 3, like from Puzzle and the Opposites, are like
yeah,
they're that stadium rock vibe. So the first kind of are like mathy kind of.
yeah.
Just
That's
you can hear the underground in those.
yeah,
tunes.
that's the ones I
They're
like.
not bringing another beer, that's why.
I'm like halfway through this, but
Hold on.
we'll take it. You know.
Eventually.
And then yeah, when Ellipsis came out, like I sat. Wolves of Winter came out. That was the single.
Ah, yeah.
And then
I didn't like Wolves of Winter.
Neither
I
do
thought
I.
it was all right.
And
I love that vocal melody. That's
There's one song off Ellipsis that I really like, and it's not even in the proper album.
The fucking deluxe edition of that album has 2 of the best Biffy songs
Oh,
ever
I
written.
think I have that.
Yeah, man.
What are they called again? I forget.
Don't Go Canting, In the Name of the Wee Man.
Yes,
In the
in the name of the wee man.
Fucking
Yeah.
amazing.
That's great.
I nearly got kicked out of their Odyssey show during In the Name of the Wee Man.
Well, it's good they played it live though.
Fuck yeah, no, that was amazing. I started.
They
a
are
circle
renowned
pit.
for pulling out weird tracks live though.
The first time I saw them, they played like a flawless set, like
Yeah.
down to like my favorite obscure Biffy song.
Yeah, yeah.
It was from Vertigo Bliss, my favorite Biffy album.
Yeah.
And they played A Day Of, which is like
Oh,
like
yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know, maybe like the 4th of middle track of the album,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a completely innocuous, random, heavy track.
Yeah.
And like I remember just your man, and I turned around to Leo. I think it was during this song. I turned around to my friend Leo and screamed. I was like, ah! And ran straight into him and like kneed Shane, who was to the side of him, right in the fucking balls.
I think when the first time I seen them, they played "There's No Such Thing as a Jaggy Snake," and I love that song.
Fucking
And I was
man,
the
so
last thing I was expecting them to play.
Yeah.
Like,
Was
I
it an
came in
Odyssey?
there- No, it
No.
was again Reading and Leeds. I've been there 3 times, so like I
It's lethal, like.
stroked a lot of bands off the list when around to see
Yeah.
that. But yeah, they were awesome.
One thing about the current climate in music is that all my favorite bands are releasing mediocre albums.
Oh,
I'm
hurts.
right there. Is
Yeah.
that just because like I don't know, because they were popular like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and then they're starting to get to the end of their rope or something?
know.
Like I don't know.
There's a band, one of my favorite bands is Falls,
Yeah.
and I'm waiting. I'm evident they haven't released a bad album yet, but
I like the last record quite a lot. Like
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
me
did.
too.
I thought it was good.
but
like,
if
what do you-
their
what do you-
next albums could be garbage, and I would,
It's a scary feeling.
yeah.
Well, there was like big talks of Reading and Leeds, the fact that I was talking about it. There's talks of them like becoming a headline act soon, because they aren't really. They're still not overly being booked for like something like Glastonbury or Reading and Leeds. They're not really the headline of main stage, but the organizers of those festivals seem to think that they might be there like in the next year or two. Like they might be booking them for a headline slot.
That's literally what happened to Biffy the year that they headlined.
Yep.
Whenever we
That
went
was-
to go see them.
it was
It's
a big
these
deal
These
for
guys have
them.
been around for so long. It's like, why have they not headlined yet?
Yeah.
And then they just showed why they should be able to headline.
Yeah, that's true.
It
That was for
incredible.
the Opposites tour, and that was
Yeah.
the first time they got the headline Reading and Leeds, which was just amazing. Like they had the big tree behind them as part of the stage.
That was lethal.
It was an amazing
Yeah.
show. Like it was pouring with rain, and they had so much fire. Like there was pyrotechnics for almost every song. Golden Rule just kept me warm.
Oh.
It went from like it went from freezing cold in the rain, and then the end whenever the weird timing thing plays with like the stabs. It's like boom. Every time there was a stab, pyros went off, and I was like boom, boom, boom. And I was like, whoa, I'm getting warm here. Like it just like hit you right up the face, and then fireworks at the end and everything. I was like, that was crazy. It was an insane show, and I was absolutely soaked up.
That was the same Leeds festival where Trent Reznor gave off because Biffy were ahead of him. in the lineup and stuff.
I kind
I
of
fucking love that.
lost a bit of respect there for him. He got
Yeah.
really pissed off because
Like, who
Biffy
are
were
these
headline.
guys?
Like, who even are these guys?
Oh,
And they're
fuck
getting a
that.
headline. Nine Inch Nails were great, but it
Yeah.
probably wasn't a great way for me to see them for the first time. As like hear him complaining about Biffy Clyro headlining, and it's like, well, remember that they're from the UK and you're not, and it's like they've worked their way up to the headline slot here. Like, I don't know.
I'd say Biffy Clyro is a really big band.
They are.
Yeah,
I don't know. Like,
Did they really ever break America?
That's what I was gonna ask, because it's so. You always think they're that big, but that's. I mean, I talked about that a lot about Arctic Monkeys in the breakdown thing I did, because like, they are known very well in America now, but it's only because of the last record,
Yeah.
which I thought was a lot to do with like the amount of backlash. Like, I know there's people that don't like it, but so many people only hopped on at AM, so they thought that was
Yeah.
the band.
Yeah.
They're like, this is the band that we get. I was like, well, God, listen to the first record. It's nothing like AM. But yeah, I don't really know if Biffy have broken America or not.
Like, they were definitely trying with opposites.
The
more
record
so.
before that, Only Revolutions, was the one that probably would have done it for them if
Yeah.
nothing else did.
To be fair, I can't think of any Scottish bands that have broke America.
Mm,
Really?
yeah, I'm sure there are some, but I can't even think off the top of my head. Not recently, anyway.
Yeah.
God, I don't know.
Maybe it's just that style of music is.
I don't know if you like use your accent in it, like
Well,
your
the
broad Scottish
Proclaimers.
accent, the Proclaimers. There you go. I was like, I'm sure there's plenty. I just can't think of them right now.
Oh dear.
So the first Scottish band that you could think of is like, I wonder who's
Oh, I was
actually.
trying there. If you like play that back, you'll see the fucking gears going in my head. It's like,
Big Country. I'm sure they
Oh, yeah,
broke
Big
America.
Country.
They're a fucking
Good
awesome
shit.
band. You know what's a good question for you guys? Like, if you have, do you have any like bands on like a bucket list that you want to see live? Like, I find
That's a
like
really good
I thought I would ask because I was thinking about this recently because I just got to see the Rolling Stones with Mike last week.
he's doing that show.
Yeah, boy.
Oh, amazing, man.
Like, I am very thankful to say we lucked out with free tickets at the last minute.
No
That's
fucking
unreal.
way.
Yeah, boy.
That buddy of mine that I was saying to you.
Yeah, well, not name him in case people start pestering for free tickets, but it's a friend
That's some
of
only
Mike's.
fools and horses style shit right there. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean they were on the bucket
Yeah.
list of bands because like I sort of the way you're talking about like everybody has to listen to the Beatles and something. I
Yeah.
feel like it's the same with the Rolling Stones, and it's quite funny because every time I talk about this, my dad's always like, whenever I was younger, it was one or the other. You couldn't have both. Like they were competing
Yeah.
bands, yeah. Like they were
Of course.
they were friendly with each other. They didn't hate each other, but it was like there was a rivalry because they were both live at the same time, and they were both like a male group band, and some people
Yeah.
liked one, some people liked the other, and they were sort of like, it was weird. I got into the Beatles first as a teenager, but they were very like refined and proper, like all harmonies perfectly in sync and stuff, and I feel like they're like the good ones, you know, like, and then
Yeah.
the Rolling Stones,
Bunch of cheeky bastards.
basically. I mean,
Yeah.
I suppose the Beatles were, but like in comparison, the Rolling Stones are just fucking crazy, and like it comes off in the music. Like I never know how to explain it. It's like it's a sprawling mess that comes together somehow. Everyone feels like they're doing their own thing.
Yeah.
Like Mick Jagger just like ad-libbing stuff over like Keith Richards just playing random riffs here and there. It's like it's wild, but it works. I don't know, but that was one off the bucket list for me. So. Is there anybody you haven't seen live yet, and you don't know if you'll get to?
I
Do
do.
you want to
know.
go first?
I don't know, man. You can go if
I've
you
got
want.
an excellent segue from that. So you were talking about band rivalries.
Yeah.
One of my favourite bands is Blur.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love Blur too.
That Blur are fucking great, man. Fuck Oasis.
I don't like Oasis. I mean,
Fucking hate them.
I don't hate them like, but I just
Um,
I've never been an Oasis guy. I'm
Yeah,
always Blur.
I never got the love for Oasis that Blur
They
seemed
felt
to
like-
not get.
Oh, I'm gonna get so much hate like, but Oasis, they're not shying away from it. Jesus, that was loud.
Strickland 85. What's happening, man?
Welcome to the podcast. That's clearly not how this works, but yeah, Oasis are not shy about it. They love the Beatles, and it's so obvious in the music.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to be. Like,
I mean, even down to the fact that they cover, and it's the only Oasis performance that I really, really like, is their cover of I Am the Walrus.
yeah, it's pretty
Off
good.
one of, like,
I've seen
their
it.
live albums. Like,
And they have the-
yeah. It's good, like. It's
It is,
legit.
but I mean, down to the way they dress. I mean, except for the '90s tracksuit on top,
Yeah.
but like the glasses and everything, and the way Liam sings, it's just like
Goes my
it
fucking head in,
feels
man.
like he just wants.
Yeah, like,
He's
he
trying to
does, like-
sound like John Lennon. I don't care
Yeah.
what anybody says, but they're trying to be the Beatles so hard, and it was just because I got into the Beatles as a teenager and not like I listened to Oasis later, and I'm like, these guys are just trying to pose as the Beatles. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm Blur. I'm with you.
Like,
Very
Blur-
successful band, Oasis. Like they.
Oh,
they,
yeah. Crazy.
Probably more successful than Blur.
Yeah.
By
yeah,
far.
Yeah,
there
yeah.
was the whole counterpoint of their, or the whole like central point of their rivalry was the release of, I don't know which Oasis song it was.
I know it's
But
Country House, wasn't it?
It
Or
was Country House from Blur.
Yeah.
And then
whatever shitty Oasis song it was.
fuck it. And like they had like a big. It was basically like their record companies were like, right, who's gonna
Yeah.
gonna
Who's gonna
sell
get
more
number one?
records on
Yeah.
like opening day, or who's
Yeah.
gonna get number one.
Yeah, that
And, like-
completely helped the both of them though. Like, do you
Yeah,
not think?
probably.
Like, really, that rivalry.
It was
It
well
kinda did.
publicized.
I mean, Blur's guitarist tried to kill himself
Guitar
like,
or Graham Coxon
during it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like, yeah, it always showed to me like how like scary music could be,
Yeah.
like the industry.
Oh,
Could
the industry's terrifying.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ridiculous. Like, I can only imagine thinking about it, because sometimes at this level it can completely depress you. Like,
Okay,
sometimes,
it's coming up against the mountain, like.
yeah, it's so hard. And I was like,
Yeah.
if you get depressed at this stage, like, how are you meant to deal with it if you ever became successful?
Yeah.
You think that's what you want, but it's like,
A lot of pressure.
Scares-
man. A lot
scares
of
the life
pressure.
out of me.
Yeah.
Abuse. Like,
Yeah.
imagine actually getting verbal abuse
yeah,
all the time.
all the time. Yeah.
You do, man.
Well, I
From your
suppose.
band members.
Well,
You shut up, Jesus Christ.
I swear to fuck.
I'm so
God.
sorry, man.
Well, we're getting out of the topic.
Yeah, it's like I was gonna say I suppose in relation to like Oasis and stuff like that, and even Blur is like one of the things that really scares me about like the more successful you get, the more pressure there is, the more you end up like fighting with your bandmates and then the
Dude,
people that you were
yeah.
friends with, because
Yeah.
both those bands done that. I mean the whole Oasis thing is like whatever, like those
That's his
guys.
brother, like.
It's crazy. I mean, God knows how much is put on and how much is genuine hatred for each other. I don't really know,
yeah.
but I mean, even Damon Albarn, Graham Coxon fell out and stuff, and that was horrible to see because they're just amazing songwriting duo.
That was, I think, one of the nicest things about them getting back together.
Yeah, I was.
Was See the Magic Whip album.
Yeah.
They have songs that directly talk about them
Yeah.
breaking up, kind of.
It was a beautiful record.
Like that, the opening single of that came out on my birthday, out of nowhere.
Oh
I was like,
really?
holy fuck!
Oh man. I love that because like Graham Coxon's solo records, if you've ever
Yeah,
listened to
very
them,
good
are
stuff.
incredible. Yeah,
Very good stuff.
he's
Really
such a good
talented guy.
guitarist. I
He
really-
recently did like a soundtrack to something. I was really surprised.
Yeah, it was. I'm forgetting. I'll not be able to remember. It's gonna be so cut out of this, but I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, I was. I seen a thing about it the other day. It's a really like. Oh, is it like the end of the world or something, or
The end of the.
the end of the
Fucking
effing
world,
the end of the
yeah.
effing world?
Are we
Yeah.
not allowed to swear on this?
No, he can. Yeah.
Of course
I
you
feel-
can,
no.
man.
Wait,
actually,
Of course
no.
you can.
No, he can. Of
Oh,
course.
shit.
You can cuss.
I was
Sorry,
like,
I was
is that
literally.
just I swore like a minute ago, and I was like, should I be swearing so much?
I was like quoting the thing because every time it's written down, it actually
Yeah.
says that, like
Yeah.
the end of the effing world.
That's a good show.
Is it?
It
Have
was,
you seen
yeah,
it?
No,
I've
no.
seen it as well.
You've seen it? It's really good.
Yeah. No, he soundtracked that. Yeah, I seen it in his home studio,
Mm.
which I seen a thing about him talking about it where he was just like, it's so weird. He was just like, he's completely blown away, like the fact that he can do this in his own home now.
Yeah,
He's
it's
like,
so
he
cool.
finds it really weird because he's used to going to a studio all the time.
Loving life.
Yeah.
You went
old
and
school.
seen the Damon Albarn musical thing as
Oh,
well? or
yeah.
something, didn't you?
Dr. D,
Yeah.
I believe it was called. Is a long. Well, I suppose I'll tell you. May as well. We've got time. We went to see. Well, we had booked tickets to go and see Blink-182 in Manchester
Nice.
back whenever Tom was still with them. So that's why I wanted to go. Like, I wouldn't go and see them now. Like, talking of bands that went downhill, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I know
Yeah.
the feeling.
What
They were-
happened?
They were
Down
like
the
my
rabbit hole.
they were my favorite band for like
Oh,
forever.
man.
I mean, in some ways they still are. Like, as long as I just ignore the last
Yeah.
record and everything Tom's doing, he's crazy. Anyway, sorry, it's not the point.
Yeah, he's lost the plot.
He's
That's like he's
fucking
actually
mental.
lost.
I defended him for so long, and I was like, he's doing a lot of important stuff, guys. Like,
Oh,
I was
Dreams, man.
Did
so
you see him on
blinded
Joe
by the
Rogan's
love.
podcast?
What, sorry?
Did you see him on Joe Rogan's podcast?
Yeah, I seen him on Joe Rogan's podcast. It was the
That
most
kinda sealed the deal
Oh
for you,
my
did it?
God.
cringe-worthy thing I've ever seen, and that was probably the precise moment where I stopped, like, I just stopped appreciating what he was doing, because I really found respect in, even though he was away from Blink, he was really diversifying in everything he'd done, and yes, he was, like, the UFO thing, like, I'm totally into that. I dig all that.
That's a cool kind of thing to vibe with.
Yeah. It's like I'm into. I don't really know what's out there. Like I'm okay with you like getting into it, and I knew that he was always a huge fan of it, like way back from the '90s whenever he was with Blink. Like
You're
he was
listening to
always
this, man.
talking about it. Yeah,
That tune.
exactly.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
So like that was no surprise, but the Joe Rogan thing really just brought to light how like he didn't really know anything. Like that was
Yeah.
the problem. Is like he always had these posts that were getting annoying where he was like, I can't really tell you about what's going on and whatever. And I was like, whatever. You know, I'll just wait to
Yeah.
see what he brings out. And then he doesn't bring anything out, and he goes on Joe Rogan and he keeps saying, I can't really tell you about that. And then the one part where he says he's gonna show him a video of something that'll freak him out, it looks like the fakest video I've ever seen. And I was like, holy smokes, is this what this guy believes?
Yeah.
Like if that's the sort
Oh,
of stuff that seems accurate to him, then like my point of view has just been completely skewed. But yeah, that's not the point. That's not what I'm trying to talk about anyway. But we booked tickets to go see Blink-182 in Manchester, but it was before Neighborhoods had came out.
Right.
Great album. I really liked
That's a
it.
good
Yeah.
album.
I love it. So
fucking
many,
love it too.
so many people hate on it, and I think it's great. But I had actually seen them one time before that. Like, I mean, because I was such a huge fan, I never thought I'd get to see that band again, because like they broke up before I was really of age to go and even see them somewhere. But I got to see them at Leeds Festival, headline that in 2010, and then we were waiting for Neighborhoods to come out, and they said they were playing Manchester or whatever. But because of the way they were working, because they weren't really working together, like Tom was off in San Diego and they were in LA and whatever, the album got delayed, and then they decided to cancel the tour and postpone it to next year. But we had booked flights to Manchester, so there was no choice but to go anyway, because we couldn't get them refunded. So I tried to find what else was on, and there was this this musical that Damon Albarn had done all the music for and been a part of, called like, I forget the full title, it was like Dr. D something. It was something to do with I wish I could remember. I knew a lot about it at the time, but it was like a guy that was some sort of like scientist type, like way back, like in whatever age. I'm gonna say something that'll be wrong anyway, but it's like really old, and they said it was like it's something to do with James Bond. I'm so bad at this, I can't remember. It was such a long time ago, but it's like the guy was somehow involved in like, or they called him like the real life James Bond, like for the Queen at the time or something. I don't know. It was something weird like that. But he had written all the music for it and stuff, and he was there playing it. It was weird to see him in that like atmosphere, as like in a little opera house, and he was so close, but he's like sitting with the band, and he played guitar, and he had like all this Afrobeat musicianship going on. It was really good.
It's really cool because Green Day did it. They made American Idiot. Like
The musical, yeah.
Like I would love to see more musicians, like established like bands, do musicals of their own material.
Yeah, I'm on board with that, because it's kind of like,
I could probably see Metallica doing that. Like,
Well, Metallica did that film, did they
they,
not?
they have sold out 1 million times now.
Yeah.
They're like,
yeah, why not? Why not?
Yeah, fuck it. why
Well, like,
not?
I mean,
they did a 3D movie. Like,
the one that I would love to see is Lazarus, David Bowie's musical.
yeah,
They did
man.
right before he died. But Michael C. Hall was in that, the guy actor from Dexter, if you ever watched that TV
really?
show. Yeah, I don't know if you ever seen, right? I'm gonna get into some
This
weird.
was really cool. Are you gonna talk about the
Yeah.
live performance?
Yeah, I'm gonna get
song?
into some weird theories here, right? Because I have a belief in this, and yeah, I'm probably looking into it too much. But like before,
Stu always looks into things
I
a little
do.
bit.
I
too
like to
much.
break things down. Before David Bowie died, obviously he was bringing out the Black Star album, and he had released Black Star as a single, and then he released Lazarus as a single, and then he died after that. But in between there was a performance on, it was like, can't remember what show, Jimmy Kimmel, one of those shows, right?
One of those American
But he wasn't there. But they were performing songs from the Lazarus musical. So Michael C. Hall was there and performed the song Lazarus with the cast of the musical. But they're all it's kind of like unnerving. They're all dressed in black and stuff. And I was like, did he do that? Like, I don't know, was he in a part of that to do like a public sort of eulogy for himself? before he actually did, because obviously he was very aware of him dying. Like
Won't
that's
be like Bowie.
the whole point of the record,
like,
and
the
there's
whole
something
album is that,
really
Yeah.
chilling if you watch that performance with that in mind, because that's what Lazarus is really about. I mean, most of the record is about his, you know, his upcoming death, but like the fact that he has Michael C. Hall doing it, who the way he sings it is really weird. He sings it like a young David Bowie. The voice that he uses sounds like a younger David Bowie, which is different to the version that was on the record with, you know, the real life old David Bowie. And I was like, it freaks me. I don't even like to watch it because it creeps me out a little bit. Like every
Like
time.
room in a lab.
What, Bowie?
What's his name? The guy from
Michael C.
Dexter.
Hall.
Michael C. Hall.
Like back in like 1980 something, like Bowie was like, I need to live on.
Yeah.
He was like jerking off into a tube. It was like singing like the demo of Black Star to it. Like, you will learn this.
You
will become me.
You will be the
I
next.
think you'd be
David
disappointed though, because he's doing some drama on
Yeah.
Netflix now.
Bowie. Seen he's in
I
a
mean,
new
that
TV
last
show.
series of Dexter was fucking
Oh,
shot.
it was fucking terrible.
Fuck that shit.
But what if like the remake of Labyrinth comes out and it's him
And
doing
he's-
Goblin King? Confirmed. That's it.
Did you ever feel like the Goblin King had too normal a name? It was just Jareth. And I was just like, I always thought that
It's
was.
one step off Jared.
Yeah, I know, sometimes I'm just like, I'm the Goblin King, Jareth.
I mean, he was the only relatively normal looking dude in that film.
Yeah, I know, I
Apart
know.
from like the other human woman.
Dude, the bulge, like you see at the end,
Really powerful.
the end, the thing. I am so happy to say I have one of those vaulted pop vinyl figures. You know, like one of these.
Oh yes, yes.
I have one of those of David Bowie in Labyrinth. While he's in the suit, and it's got the little bulge, and he's like holding the crystal, and I was
Powerful.
like, I need to buy this, so I just
Oh,
bought it.
man.
I think it was like a limited edition or
That's
something.
amazing.
Ah, man, amazing. Sorry, wait, we were talking about something else. Oh, bucket list concerts. You never got to answer.
Well, it's going to be anticlimactic. Like.
Oh, that's cool.
It's alright, we'll
Ben
put it and it
Hard.
won't be.
Ben Hard,
Ben
really?
Hard,
That
yes.
is unexpected.
I fucking love Ben Hard.
Really?
Yeah.
Alright,
Or
okay.
effing love Ben Hard. Sorry.
Effing. You can curse as much as you fucking want.
I've been so inspired by everything he's made and all his albums. He's
Yeah.
got 2. But he's got a new album come out and I'm so excited for it. And
That's I
need to
wouldn't
see-
have expected that.
I need to see him live. I need to experience him live.
Yeah.
It sounds like a plea to Ben Hard.
Yeah,
Give me
please.
tickets.
Send me tickets.
No one gives us.
Ben Hard, if you're watching.
He could be.
Could be.
He's a man of mystery.
I mean, I don't like. I haven't listened to a lot of it. Am I mistaken thinking he's quite mellow? Right.
Listen to his second album.
Right. Okay.
It's quite post rock.
I'll check it out, man. Because I always put him down as like sort of a mellow, more mainstream pop artist. Like.
I think he made that with his first album.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
he
I'm pretty sure I listened to like a debut track on like Zane Lowe's show or something way back when from that second album that you're talking about, and it was kind of like, well, there's so much more to this as
Yeah.
far as I remember. Like, anyways, I can't remember off the top of my head what the track was called, like, but it was quite a long track, and it was pretty awesome. Like,
There was a period of time where I think a lot of people were comparing him to Ed Sheeran. And then
I think it was the
originally
problem
turned
was
me off.
yeah,
And
at
then-
the time whenever he came
yeah.
out, there was so many people doing very
Yeah,
similar
like
stuff,
acoustic
and he
pop
just got
star
kind of
thing.
like,
But he's not like that at
Yeah,
all. He's
yeah.
he really writes alternative music.
Yeah.
It's not standard fucking pop shit.
I will literally listen to that on the way home tonight. I'm interested. I'm intrigued. I want to know more.
I hope you send me a message later on.
Yeah,
just be
I
like,
will.
This is
I
That's
will.
what I love about the podcast, like, is like
I know,
every
you
time
just
people
always
come
learn
in and,
stuff.
Like, people tell us about stuff, and we're like so just give me a recommendation. I'll fucking
Yeah,
listen.
yeah.
Definitely.
I'll check it out, man. Yeah, right. I suppose we'll get on to like the sort of upcoming gigs and stuff, and start
Yeah.
going to the bottom of the show. An hour 45.
Awesome.
The video is at 2 hours 10.
Yeah,
so,
that sounds about right. So I try and get it down to like between an hour and a half if I can. Sometimes it goes up to near 2 hours, but you know, it just depends. I worry about it being too long, but everybody says it's fine. I don't know.
Long form podcasts tend to be like
Yeah.
Well,
but-
I prefer listening to long form.
So do I. Every time I say that, people are all right about it, and it gets a decent amount of views. Like, I mean, bearing in mind that it's like, you know, it's not a 5-minute music video or 4-minute music video, because they get hundreds because of rewatches. But like, you don't really get that with a podcast. You watch it once, you're not gonna watch it again. Overly. Right.
I
Okay.
don't think I've ever watched a podcast twice.
No, neither have I. I mean, I maybe watch a clip from it twice, like if it was funny or something, and I had to show somebody. But I've never watched a full thing like twice in a row.
I'm looking forward to doing that. Like
What?
taking the best bits out of each podcast, because there's
Yeah.
been some fun
Well,
bits with
doing,
each
like,
pod,
See if I could, like, if I had more time, the thing that I think would sell this better is that whenever we put out one, I would go back in and render smaller clips and upload them to
Yeah.
Facebook, not YouTube, so that they
That's
auto
actually a really
auto
good
play it on
point, yeah.
Facebook. It's just trying to get the time
yeah,
to do it.
You need more people.
Because I'm like, I'm doing this, and then I go home and I'll try and edit as much as I can tonight to give me a head start, and then like editing takes so long. Like rendering on my laptop takes like a day. So like even once I get it to a point that I want, I have to render for a day and then watch it afterwards to make sure it's okay before I upload, which takes hours again. That's a fucking nightmare.
Right.
Oh, somebody's
Mogul's looking you,
George
man.
Mogul is on.
Hey, no respond.
No respond.
Student
George Mogul, welcome to the podcast.
student lives in Leisha.
Wow.
I don't know where you're from. Who is this man?
Hey, no respond.
He no respond. No respond.
I don't know who this guy
What is happening?
Oh my god.
Just say yes, respond back. Just
George is taking over the podcast.
Just linking Brendan Rodgers.
Blog.
Yeah, that's a creative
I'm
way
gonna-
to promote your music.
Right, hold on 2 seconds. Get this up. No, fuck YouTube.
Are you actually gonna link him? That song?
I'm gonna fuck. I don't know who he is.
I wouldn't talk to this bot.
It's alright, I'm gonna block it immediately afterwards. Right, here we go.
Oh shit.
Oh, hold on. It's
Before
so
you
hard.
block him, can you get some kind of review?
What do you think of this, lad?
Just so we can put it on posters and stuff.
Well, yeah.
what's his name again?
George Mogul.
George
Right,
Mogul. Right.
so
Remember that.
copy this address.
That's going to be our bio.
George Mogul.
George Mogul says no respond about Brendan Rodgers.
Where am I?
Oh, that's brilliant.
Hold on.
We're on limited time here, Mike.
I know, I'm sorry. It's so hard to like use the computer from over here. Right, here we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Yes, that.
Enjoy.
What do you think of that?
I'm kind of worried what he might message back, to be quite honest with you.
Exclamation mark. So you shouting that phrase at.
I feel like you might just get something terrible back.
Even if we do,
We're gonna
I
have
think
to-
That's gonna be a victory.
We're gonna have to blur it out. Whatever comes back.
Oh,
Seen,
yes, yes.
seen at 9:27. I'm so into this. Fuck the gigs. I don't care what gigs are coming up. I want to know what's happening
I'm
right
kinda
now.
worried that the angles aren't gonna.
Oh no, they'll be
Do you
they'll be
think the
fine.
viewers will understand what's going on right now?
We don't understand what's going on right now.
Some like random dudes just like popped up to you.
Fuck.
I don't think we're gonna get a response from.
No,
from
he
George.
has seen. No.
Well,
We'll check back
keep
in.
your fingers
We'll
on the
check
pulse,
back
guys.
in.
If anything
Let's
comes
see.
up in the next 48
Let's see
hours,
if George
please.
Mogul says anything more than no respond
Question mark.
to
Twice.
the latest Feral single. What his take is. We'll find out.
I got a hot take.
Okay. Let's get into some upcoming shows.
Give me 2 seconds to get, because I closed down Belfast for that.
It's all like. You see, just in the G, there's like.
Oh, it's gone. Sorry. Yeah, we get into some upcoming shows. We got Belfast coming up. It's not far away now. It's like it's like less than 20 days or something like that, I think. Belfast 18. June 8th, Bar Sub Students Union. What's the full lineup again, Mike? It's Alpha Twin, Mosmo Strange, Wasps, Romeo Indigo, Romeo, and
Is it on there? I can't see.
oh, it's not there.
Susie Blues.
Susie Blue.
Yeah.
Yes. You can scroll up. You just need to click on the actual picture of it. I think is the problem. Oh, George Mogul's writing back.
Oh my god.
is he?
He's typing.
I'm on the edge of my fucking seat.
Here we go.
This is the review that matters.
Yep.
Nothing, dude.
Nothing.
I texted you for a long time, but you never replied. What's been going on?
What?
Do you definitely not know this guy?
No, I really
Have
don't.
you been catfishing this
What's up with you?
I think somebody fucking sent me a friend request, and I just went, yeah, okay, whatever.
Oh,
Like,
dude, you can't do
ages
that.
ago?
When did he send that hey message?
2016.
Whoa!
I told you.
Texted you for a long
No
time.
fucking idea who this guy is.
This guy's been trying to fucking get in touch with you since 2016, and
Well, he waited a long time, 2016, and then 9:30 on.
there was like a 2-year gap, and then he was like, "I gotta hit this guy up again." I think I've waited long enough for his response. Oh man!
Is it to the minute and to the day?
That was incredible, like the anniversary, 2-year anniversary of the first time I
Marked
tried
it
to
down in his
contact.
calendar.
Oh, yeah, block him. Okay, yeah. So Belfast is on June 8th, and then next up here we got.
Hold on. Next up in order is.
Oh, in order? Don't care about the order. I didn't do the last ones in order. We got some smorgasbord. Nope. June 15th. Winona Bleach and guests. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Where is that? Voodoo in Belfast. Sweet. What else we got?
That's a
Wasp
good one.
single launch.
Represent the bro.
Yep, at the Foundry in Belfast, 23rd of June. Free entry, so why would you not go? Then we got July 28th. We got Hot Cops, Barrels, Narcats.
Wander.
The sequel is by.
That's
Free
a
entry show again.
Fucking incredible line.
That is a
I'm
great
really,
lineup.
we are really excited to play that show.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Really excited.
That's such a good lineup to be involved in, honestly.
Baby.
You're going to kill it. It's going to be great.
And the big boy.
Most strange.
Most strange
Marshmallow Strange.
EP launch. Live at Limelight, Belfast. I mean, just. Most Strange at Limelight. Like, amazing. Like, we just. Everybody needs to go to that. Like,
That's so class.
book your time off now because, like, you gotta be there. It's gonna be huge. I mean, I think that place gonna be packed out.
That's gonna be an amazing show.
How much is it in?
Mm,
For my reference.
yeah, I am thinking about it. You know, we've got the like representation and everything going on
Yes.
here. We got the Mosmo
Get on
shirt,
that most strange hype, bro.
Mosmo
Most strange.
and with some self-plugging coming up, we have Hit the B Button are headlining the next Zool Radar, which is next Thursday, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, George Mogul's riding back. So you are into music? This is a real guy.
Well,
I thought it was like a bot for a
He
while.
knows that Ferals is music.
He does.
So
That's it.
You're gonna bring
Ferals is music. George Mogul.
He is really grooming you right now. Like, it's kind of creepy.
oh, spooky boy.
Yeah, sorry. hold
I'm
on.
so distracted, sorry. I'm so fed off now.
Menagerie.
George
shit.
really
Wait.
threw a spanner in the works,
Yeah, I
didn't
know.
he?
George. I was going to
Is George is just always stealing the limelight? like
Honestly, you
Yes.
should get him on the podcast. Do like a Skype link.
reach out to George.
His massive face just on this TV, like.
That's the.
There we go.
Yes,
Yeah, next Thursday we got the next Zool Radar at the Menagerie, and Hit the B Button are headlining. Yeah, boy. We got Judas Wolves, Newt, and Musa. I've
That's
nev-
also a sick lineup.
yeah,
No, that's a
yeah, it
very
does look
fucking good
great.
lineup.
Sorry, I've never heard anyone pronounce that name, even though I see them all the time and their songs are cool. But like, I don't know how to say it. Musa? Yeah. I
Call it
guess.
Musa.
Yeah.
Also,
Cool.
I'm gonna be
Um,
fucking
I'm
blocked
sorry.
from that
I'm
show.
sorry if they see this, but like,
a new tea as well.
Newty, Newty.
Judas Wolf.
Judas Wolves. Yeah, I actually like that one. Yeah, it's a really cool lineup, and we're just so like stoked to be playing a Zool Radar show. Those guys are just the coolest, and all the radars they put on before in the Menagerie have just seemed to be like insanely good. These guys can vouch for that. So
Fuck yeah.
get on down next Thursday, 9 o'clock, 31st of May. And other than that, have you guys got what's next for Ferals? What's upcoming? What can we look out for?
When's the album coming out?
Well,
When's the
The
album?
double album. The double album.
With
So-
the accompanying movie.
Yeah.
we've been in Derry at Small Town, America.
Yeah.
We've been. It's on our Instagram. I don't think there's any problem with us telling you this.
Yeah.
But yes, we've recording 3-track EP.
Right.
Should be out
New track.
Later
by the
this
end of
year.
summer.
Yeah.
I think.
Cool.
What are we gonna call the release?
Working.
I don't know, man. What
Yeah,
we're
we
gonna
don't know.
I don't know.
I was hoping you'd like come out with something
Um,
random and we just have to run with
do
it.
not
So,
listen to this. This is trash.
Call it George Mogul.
George Mogul's
George
greatest hits.
George Mogul.
Oh shit!
So are you into music? Question mark.
Here, man. That's a title.
So you are into music? Full
I
stop,
think
question mark.
we should maybe name all our songs after men who've inspired us.
It's just one of those days, man.
We went through, I talk about this all the time, but we were doing that. We kind of put an end to it, but we were naming lots of songs after drummers that left our band.
No joke.
Spinal
You know,
Tap.
we had a problem with that in the
Yeah.
early
I
days.
think we could do something like that too, man.
Yeah.
After Danzilla's gone.
There's a
Our
song,
next big man.
song in our first EP called Sorry About This Stephen, and then there's a song on the second EP called It's Starting to Get Dark, Andy, for two people that had, I mean, they weren't in it for very long. Like, it was early renditions of Hit the B Button whenever we were trying to get a drummer before Adam came back from university. But yeah, that was a thing, and then I did keep wanting to put one on for somebody else, but we kind of just,
I really
Let's
like
hope we don't
them
have that
song
problem
titles though.
oh
Like,
yeah,
I really like them. They really work.
it's like, Sorry About This Stephen definitely made more sense with the name in it, but the other song was just called It's Starting to Get Dark.
Yeah,
And then
just
we just
tag
put
Andy on
Andy
it.
at
No,
the end.
that's so cool. That's such a cool
I like
name.
it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll bring it back. There's still one person who has alluded the
Yeah.
drummer naming and shaming game.
Do they know? Do the said drummers know?
Probably not. I mean, the first guy was absolutely mental. He only auditioned. He wasn't really a drummer, and he showed up to the audition with
No drumsticks.
with drumsticks, but nothing else.
Rookie
Oh.
mistake.
He only had a set of drumsticks. He had nothing. He had no breakables.
Oh yes, no breakables.
I mean,
Sorry, that's what it was.
there's gonna be a show.
I knew basically he didn't drum the
No.
whole audition.
No, the
he
thing
just
is,
talked about
you
stuff.
think he would show up and be a bit embarrassed by that, but he was like, "Let me show you what I can do." There was like a
Having them off the
floor
table.
tom and a tom. That was like the shell of a kit.
Oh my
No
God.
snare, no cymbals, no hi hats, no nothing. And he was like, "Sure, I'll just drum along on these." the two toms, like,
Jesus Christ.
yeah, okay. And he just seemed a bit mental, so yeah, we named that song after him. And then the other guy, he was alright, but he just didn't stay in the band for very long, so we thought we would.
It's not like
put him
the
in his
songs
band.
are in
They're-
any way badly about.
they're not
they're
actually
written
about the
other
person,
subject
yeah.
matter, and then like a name's just tagged
It's
on.
just
at the end.
Not
let-
like Brendan Rodgers.
let them live on. Yeah, that one's pure hatred. Right. I'll wrap it up here.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Thanks to America in Focus for sponsoring this episode. And we will be back with what should be 2 more episodes of the podcast before season 1 wraps up. And the episode 10 should be a crazy party to celebrate the fact. So that should be fun. Keep an eye out for that. And other than that, we'll just be doing the usual video breakdowns. We've got all those gigs coming up. Yeah, just check in on the Air Spaceship Facebook page and the YouTube channel. Check out Ferals on their Facebook page. You guys have Instagram as well, which seems to have a lot of content on it, so I would highly recommend following their Instagram. And we will see y'all next time. Bye.
Thank you. Why are we clapping?
I don't know.
Do they normally
Is that
clap
not-
at the end of it?
Doesn't usually happen.